Hello, I am Daniel Bloodworth. We are Easy Allies, and this is the Easy Allies podcast. We got Isla Hink.
Hi.
We got Michael Huber.
Hello.
We have Michael Damiani.
How's it going?
And Don Casanova.
Hello, hello, hello.
And I don't even know, there might be a different order on the recording.
Yeah, on mine it
compared to what I
definitely is.
have.
On the recording, on the edit, it will be.
So we are recording remotely because it has been a crazy week. We're recording a day late because it's been a crazy week. As you most likely know, we have had a historic firestorm here in Los Angeles. And so, yeah, there's been a lot going on. Huber's also been sick, and Gabby's been sick. So Huber's trying to keep it together here for us.
I'm going to mute it when I have gnarly coughs.
Right.
Oh, Hubie.
I got my eucalyptus tea, though.
Oh.
But yeah, so when the windstorm was picking up earlier, when things started, me and Don were dealing with power and internet fluctuations. We've been looking at, keeping an eye on evacuation orders and all that stuff. I've taken stuff out to the car and then brought it back in multiple times. It's been kind of
1 week
nuts.
since you looked at me.
Yeah, and even just trying to wrap my brain around a podcast yesterday was this isn't happening. Right after we called it off, then there was another fire. It was I'm glad we're not trying to record right now.
Yeah.
Chaos.
It's very depressing.
Yeah.
Yep.
Obviously, none of us have had to evacuate, but Brandon did preemptively evacuate as things were getting closer to him. And then a friend of ours from Game Trailers, Marcus Beer, unfortunately, they lost their home in Altadena. So,
Jeez.
and there's probably a lot of other people that we know that have been impacted that we haven't even heard the news yet. So definitely thinking of everybody this week, and trying our best to provide some kind of distraction from what's going on. If you're listening and maybe you're in one of the shelters or something, or just in somebody's bedroom. But yeah, we this week we're also not doing any of the normal starting off the betting season or anything like that. We'll save the theatrics for when we get back to the studio.
Yeah.
Also won't have any kind of B-roll this week. It'll be a little bit more old school. So we'll try to describe what games look like visually if we can remember details. But this week will be our winter game preview. So we'll be going through the January, February, March releases and what we're looking forward to, and our sizzles and fizzles and all that. But before we get to that stuff, I was lagging a little bit behind the rest of you, and I wasn't there last week. So you all got to catch up on your holidays. I did not get to participate in that. So I'll do a quicker version of what everybody else did. But yeah, I was, a bit of a different year because my brother has moved away from Florida, but this year he came back down, and so we were all in my mom's house together. We did a few things, but they just went through hurricanes, so that was kind of crazy because there's houses in the neighborhood that my mom's house is still damaged and waiting for people to come fix things up, and signs everywhere just smashed around town or bent over and stuff. But we did get to do a few fun things. There's a lot of TV on. That's the one thing I had to adjust when I go, because here I don't really have a normal TV setup, and so when we watch TV, I open up my laptop while we're eating or whatever. If we're watching a bingey show, we just watched Severance the past couple weeks. Sometimes we'll watch 3 or 4 episodes in a row maybe, but we don't just have the TV on. And so I've lost that skill of being able to ignore the TV because during the holidays it was just always on. There's always a Hallmark movie or a cooking show or news.
That's cozy though. Well, at least it's not when it's nonstop news with some of my relatives I visit. That can get very intense.
Yeah.
At least
Yeah.
movies is kind of nice.
Yeah, but like at one point, like there was a channel doing like a Marvel movie marathon. They like started Iron Man. And, like,
Oh,
it was like,
no.
are they just gonna do all of them? And then like after about a day, it like no, okay, they're done here. Now they're skipping to random ones.
Oh.
But
Sometimes,
it's so funny to like go to see like the cable.
dude, Bloodworth, sometimes I've seen on TNT, they'll play like Iron Man 1, then Iron Man 3, then Iron Man 2.
what?
And I'm like,
What the hell?
what are you doing here?
But like the
I wonder-
cable TV strategy of like as soon as one
Oh.
thing is over, they'll like even with Family Feud, dude. They would like immediately start up the next episode, and so like the guys that won last episode was like, oh, well, you want to see if they make it through again. But like with the movies, then like the further they get into the movie, like the longer and more frequent the commercial breaks get.
Oh my god, yeah.
Yeah.
So like a
Yeah.
Marvel movie lasts like 4 hours on cable.
I wonder how many hours if they did do like a complete Marvel, you know, that's got to be a few hundred hours, I guess, or something.
With
Well, yeah,
commercials?
well, that's why I
It'd
thought
be
at first that like
crazy.
they were going
thousands.
through all of them, because there was a point when there was like, you know, like I would see like promos for like Civil War will be like 4 days from now.
Brutal. They
They
got you.
But because of that setup, I did not end up playing as much games as I thought I would be, because like my mom was like camping in the living room and stuff like that, and then just people being around. But I did get sucked into Balatro more than ever before.
Goaty, baby. Such a perfect game.
Because when it came out on Steam, like I kind of, you know, I got sucked into it like everybody else. But I kind of did the Pac-Man 99 thing, where it's like as soon as I beat Red Deck, then it's like, cool, I beat Balatro, I'm done, I'm out. And then when I got my new phone, it came with the 3 months of Apple Arcade. And I was like, at first, I looked through and like, I don't know what I want in there. Like I have everything that I would want somewhere else, it felt like. But then like I was coming up to the expiration of like when to redeem it. It's like, okay, I'll redeem it now and I'll download some stuff. So I downloaded Balatro and a couple other things, but then I still didn't play until
You don't
I
get
got
to
on
keep
that.
your save, by the way. If you
What's
you don't get to keep your saves unless you stay on Apple Arcade.
You
That's
can.
nasty.
It's supposed to sync up. It's just finicky. We actually talked about that with
Oh.
WoW.
Oh,
So, like,
really?
the paid version and the free and the Apple Arcade version, like the progress should carry over. But, like even
Oh.
somebody that thought that, like they tried it again and then suddenly it worked.
Oh,
So-
okay.
Thank God.
Yeah, because I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm starting over again. I mean, I don't care. My real progress is on the Steam Deck, but And I also
my
just don't
progress on
care,
the
but-
phone now far eclipses my progress on Steam. Far eclipses any other phone game I've ever played. But it's partly because of the situation with everyone being around and the TV being on all the time. It's like, okay, I don't want to like tune the world out and like try to, you know, get super deep into some narrative game on the laptop while people are talking. So I just start doing some rounds of Balatro.
Holidays are perfect time for that. Yeah. Have your laptop at the dinner table, you know.
And then my wife asked me for a copy for Christmas, so then I got it on Switch as well.
Nice.
So it's got Balatro all around. But other things that I did get to finished Indiana Jones, which is great. We talked about that before the break. But Huber, unlike you, I regretted going back and getting those collectibles. I really I wish I'd actually put my time into playing some other stuff rather than because I just felt like the collectible loop and stuff and returning to areas was just not that exciting. And like
I
just
tried to finish each zone before I moved on.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like going back, yeah, that would be weird because the narrative is like pushing you forward, you know?
Yeah, like narratively it doesn't
Yeah,
even make sense.
yeah.
It's just like something you do to like do the checklists. And then
Yeah.
even like the very like end thing that like it leads up to, it's like, yeah, this is just kind of like trial and error kind of a puzzle.
Mhm.
You know, there's just so much there.
Yeah.
But very, very cool game. It's not one that like I really would necessarily encourage people to 100% in terms of collectibles. Side quests and stuff like that, all good stuff, but the collectibles, I played through Crow Country.
Oh, nice.
Nice.
Yeah.
Fun one.
Yeah, that was really, really cool. I really like the save room music.
Mm-hmm.
Like, such a vibe. Like, it reminded me of Final Fantasy VII for some reason.
That save room with like the fireplace. I used
Yeah.
to just like hang out there. Just
Yeah.
leave it idle.
The train room.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it just has such a nice, like, it's got that survival horror thing where, like, you feel like, okay, now I'm, like, maxed out on, like, all of my supplies. And then within just, like, a few encounters, like, I have nothing.
Yeah.
Help me, I have nothing. Where was that thing that I couldn't pick up before? But I did manage to 100% that. There's just, like, a couple of things that I needed, it was like there's a thing that you had, like, was connected to, like, a room across the way or something like that I didn't quite get on my own. And I really enjoyed that. I thought it had some nice little reveals and stuff in there too, so good game.
Really good.
And then the last one that I did on my break was 1,000 Times Resist.
Oh.
Min-Max is obsessed with this one.
Yeah, people have been talking about it all year. And so it's like I gotta play this game and see for myself. And I think for, like, this is kind of par for the course for me. Like, a lot of the more visual novel kind of games, like, they don't hit me as hard as they hit other people. I'm still, like, really intrigued with how it went, and the way this game is set up is kind of wild because it's like it's jumping through a bunch of time periods, and so, like, having to, like, continually connect the dots through everything. It's not a game I would recommend anyone, like, put down for a week and then come back to. Like, you really, like, need to have, like, a steady, like, let me be in this, like, don't skip too many nights to, like, follow all of the different threads that are happening. But if you don't kind of know the basic premise, there's, like, it's like one of those, like, post-apocalypse kind of things. Like, there's this big crazy thing that happened, this big plague that, like, killed off most of the world, and now everyone that's alive is a clone of this one person that was immune.
It seems like fake intellectual, like Nier Automata and that other one I don't like.
I played the first 5 or 6
sentences.
hours of this one, and it did not give me that impression.
Okay.
It's dealing more with, like, trauma and identity.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I
But,
mean,
like-
it's dealing with a lot of different things, honestly.
Yeah.
And different chapters kind of, like, give you very different impressions of things that are going on. So, like, early on, it's like you are, kind of confronting, like, what people will do in a crisis situation and all of that. But then at other points, like, you really get into, like, these character relationships a lot deeper. And yeah, your perception of things can change quite a bit based on the knowledge that you have. And there's a lot of neat things there where it examines, kind of like these, like, religious themes like that, and kind of like just like there's just, like, sayings and stuff that kind of have popped up through these generations of clones, because they
Yeah.
see, like, the original person is kind of like a godly figure, right? Like, they call her the All Mother, and so, like, there's all of these kind of, like, things that they say, like hair to hair, red to blue, square to sphere, and or sphere to square. I think I got that one backward. But anyways, there's, like, all of these little sayings and stuff that you kind of get into. Like, it's almost like something for you to connect to other players with through all of that. But also goes into the main character's history a lot, and her relationships in school and with her parents. And it's pretty cool in that sense. I think the things that bug me a little bit more is just it is like visual novel plus, right? So you're not really doing, like, even, like, the kind of, like, action-y kinds of things that you do where you kind of teleport through these weird, like, memory spaces. Like, it just doesn't, you're not really doing anything. And the level designs are, like, a crazy maze that you, like, kind of have to, like, wrap your way around these enormous empty buildings multiple times to, like, talk to every different NPC and get the full picture. And
It's
so that
funny,
can just be a little tiring sometimes.
More and more, I'm starting to feel like AAA games are just that, with more lipstick on the pig, you know? Like, climbing this thing, sneaking around, doing that and this. It's like, am I really doing anything? Am I enjoying this? Yeah.
Yeah, I just feel like a lot of, even like other narrative games like this, they tend to do more interesting interactions or interesting levels and things like that. Whereas like with a lot of these spaces, I'm like, okay, cool, this is a school and I can change the time period, and that's kind of neat, but it didn't really evolve too much. And again, like just trying to explore like the main area that you get to a little bit later, it's just like, okay, this is very confusing. But overall, I like it. I just don't think I like it as much as the way some other people have talked about it.
I liked what I played of it so far.
And then yeah, like I said, we started watching Severance when we got back again because of all that free Apple stuff with the new phone. So now we're ready for next week.
Watch Silo.
Silo. Okay. Yeah, I'll need recommendations while I still have these 3 months.
Yeah, Silo season 2 is ending soon, so you'd be able to binge the whole thing in your trial. I also started watching Land of Women, which is really cute so far. Which I think is on Apple TV.
Nice. Damiani disappeared.
He's gone.
There he is. So let's get into 2025 January game preview.
Woo!
Reminder, we won't be going through every single game that's on the calendar, especially now that would they say, like, I forget the number. There was like 14,000 games on Steam last year or something like that, but I think it might have actually been higher.
I believe it.
So yeah, like that in that neighborhood, 13,000, 14,000.
Seems about right. Feels about right.
But yeah, so most of these are things that like we're either interested in some way or just I just wanted to throw a nod to because I know there's going to be people in our audience that would just be like, hey, what about that? So it's like, okay, we'll give you we'll quickly go say that game exists and keep going. Everyone remember to pick a sizzle and a fizzle as we're going through.
Oh, as we go, okay.
Yeah.
I was like, you didn't tell us to do that.
I did tell you to do that, actually.
Oh, okay.
I always tell you to do that. It's in the top of the sheet.
The sheet, of course. I'm not looking at the sheet. Don, are you looking at the sheet?
Yeah,
I'm not looking at the sheet.
Just pulling up that sheet right now.
Hey, I
my
sent that out on
bad.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
No, I looked at the sheet before.
I
I'm just
saw it
not
at some
tracking
point.
it right now.
Lot
Oh
going
yeah,
on.
I mean you don't have to track it right now. It's just
No one's writing time codes is the point here.
I am actually. Look at
Yeah.
that.
Oh my
I've
God.
already added a time code.
Don's a genius.
and then again, since we're winging with the remote setup, no B-roll, which we're just gonna have to go
We'll
a little bit
pantomime it.
off memory and description and all that stuff.
I was
first one-
capturing B-roll for one of mine, and then I was like, what am I doing? We can't show this.
Well, we won't promise any.
We'll show it later.
You never know. Maybe there'll be a surprise here and there, but probably not.
I'm streaming this, and I've prepped no B-roll.
Okay.
January 13th, Airborne Empire goes into early access. This is a sequel to Airborne Kingdom, which Island Dawn did a
Yeah, we
stream
played
with
the
after.
shit out of that, yeah. This is cool. It sounds like an open world. They say it's an open world RPG that still has the town building properties and the airborne town building properties that the original had, like, you know, keeping your city roughly balanced and powered up
yeah.
and all that, which I thought was really fun.
We had some problems with that. I was trying to remember. I was like, our city kept sinking or tilting or something.
Yeah, we definitely got a little tilt going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's I don't know, it looks cool.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Got a nice visual style. It's very relaxing.
Yeah, they're cool.
Yeah.
And then the next day is Hyperlight Breaker, also going into early access.
Yeah.
And I might have to throw my fizzle out early.
Oh.
Reluctantly, because I want this game to be great, but I'm not there yet. It's like it's not hitting me yet. And
I think it's not there yet. I mean, like, this is coming out in early access. I
Yeah.
mean, I was just hanging out with the director of that studio the other day, actually. We were here and he was hanging out with us and we watched Carry On Netflix. Surprisingly fun movie. But yeah, it's, you know, I think that they're going to stress this is an early access, like real early access. You know, it's like people playing it are helping with network stress testing and like gameplay, like testing and ideas and like, you know, really shaping and filling out, I think, the game. So like, it's not like Hades or Hades 2 where it's like early access, but the game's like perfect, you know? So, I mean, like, I think my understanding is it sounds like it's going to be kind of a collaborative thing with the players, and they'll get it at, I think, a discount. But yeah, hopefully people have some grace and leniency with it. 'Cause yeah, I think they're definitely going to stress like, hey, this is not done. Like, this is very early access. But yeah,
Yeah.
I think from what I've seen of it, and it definitely seems like there's a high ceiling for potential, and it hasn't maybe like exactly like found its footing quite yet. But I believe that they can do it. I think that it'll be cool, and I actually think in this case, like, unless people start like review bombing it and hate blasting it or something for some stupid reason, like, I think that Hyperlight Breaker, yeah, I think that the community can help them shape it, you know?
Yeah.
Hopefully.
And if you haven't followed this one, we have talked about it on the podcast and previews and stuff before, but like, it is a very different game.
Yeah.
Right? Hyperlight Drifter is a top-down pixel art, sort of Metroidvania, sort of Zelda-ish kind of structure, and this is a multiplayer 3D open world roguelite. Like,
procedural rogue, like the world is
Yes.
completely redone every time you die. So
yeah. When you fully die, like there's certain, like you can soft die and then fully die.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you fully die, then it's your world just completely resets.
And I'm curious, like, how many similarities between this and whatever the hell this Elden Ring thing that's coming out will.
Night Rain,
Like, I wonder how similar they'll be, because that sounds like a collaborative open world like sort of thing too. I don't know. Yeah.
I played
Yeah,
a
let it
little
cook.
bit of it at Summer Game Fest, but even there, they were like, you know, you're like, yeah, this might not have been the best way to show this. So,
Yeah. Complicated
see.
game.
Mm-hmm.
There are a lot of things where you're just like, how was I supposed to know to do that? Like, what? Like, they'll get there. Let them cook.
Yep. Hopefully it maintains some of those vibes though, because that was a game with thick vibes. Next day, January 15th, Aloft is in early access, which was very confusing considering Airborne Empire's 2 days earlier. But Don, you're wanting to check this one out, right?
Yes, I'm very excited about this. As soon as I saw the trailer, the description of it on their trailer is it's a co-op sandbox survival game where you soar freely through a beautiful world of floating islands, each with its own living ecosystem. Build a home and a helm and transform your island into your own personal skyship to set sail for this ever-present hurricane. So what appealed to me immediately, a lot of similarities, obviously, with like Pandora. There's these floating islands. There's a lot of flying involved. The flying is what immediately grabbed my attention when I was looking at the trailers. Just any game where like third person and you're flying is the central kind of control mechanic is like, yes, ever since Gravity Rush, I just love that kind of thing. And then the worlds, obviously, just every shot was like this different pretty looking biome on these floating islands. There's just like all this wind and clouds and mist and just like elemental turbulence everywhere, which is like super cozy and comfort. I don't know, there's something peaceful about it, even though it's just like this like elemental chaos that's around you everywhere. And it sounds awesome. I mean, like building and upgrading these islands and then actually flying them. I don't know what's going to happen when you go into this void of hurricane, but obviously it's not, it looks like there's combat too. It looks like you're clearing this kind of like blight type fungal type of sort of ecological infections that are happening. There's these sort of weird like spore people, mushroom people. I don't like that kind of thing. Clickers freak me out, so like I'm gonna try to eradicate these things, but I'm not so happy that I'm going to be face to face with them a lot, it looks like. But the other part of it, I would say the only part about this this looks a lot obviously craft heavy, right? There's a lot of crafting, and it looks like there's ways you can maybe manipulate the environment of these islands with depending on how you alter them. So that part of not as, I don't think, action and combat heavy as something like Avatar, even though it's a similar kind of setting, it feels like. Obviously there's a lot of building, a lot of crafting in this one, so that can be a double-edged sword for me. Sometimes if I'm into it, I'm like, yes, this is making it way better, or sometimes it'll bog the experience down. So that's what I'm most curious about it. But just getting into this world, moving around, I can't wait to see how it feels to be in that wingsuit and everything, and the art style and everything. So yep, immediately attracted to this one. I'm definitely interested, big time.
Nice. That one is Aloft. Dawn, the next day, January 16th, Blade Chimera.
Oh, yeah. Blade Chimera. Yeah, this one immediately attracted me also. This is just this 2D side-scrolling sort of action. I guess it's definitely a Metroidvania because they show a shot of this clear Metroidvania type of map.
Looks so sick.
Yeah, awesome animation, this chunky pixel kind of graphics, right, Hubert? Lots of layers of animated movement on screen and stuff. Looks like you've got a couple of weapons you switch between, items, consumables. You've got a big skill tree you can advance, and it looked like you have little buddies you use at times, and yeah, it looks like there's just a lot of the action is really fun because it looks like you got to switch between your weapons a lot within the level. So there's a lot of probably trial and error, seeing the best, most effective way to get through stuff. So again, this one just everything appeals to me. The action, the graphical style, it definitely looks pretty intense. So I know Huber
it looks hardcore, Armored Core with equipment.
Oh yeah, a little bit. Yeah, it looks like a lot of equipment management type stuff, in the moment, real time equipment management. Mm-hmm. So yeah, very intense looking, but it looks sick as hell. Dang it looks fun. Yeah, you got a lot of swords too. It's a lot of swords and shuriken stars or whatever. So
yeah, it looks sick.
It looks very fun.
So a cyberpunk shinobi kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. What you battle demons, I guess, and that's what they said. It's an occult-inspired cyberpunk Metroidvania. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah, it's all right.
Occult cyberpunk.
Yes, I know. Checks all the boxes.
Checks all the boxes. Just every buzzword.
Yeah.
I didn't hear any Cthulhu or anything.
I was gonna say no Lovecraftian, but occult gets in there a little.
Yeah. Chat says you streamed their other game, Damiani.
Deedlit and
it's from those guys.
Yeah,
Right.
that was really.
It's pretty cool.
That
game.
was really good. Yeah, this one does look pretty good. When I was going through this list, I did see that one. But yeah, their art, their sprite art is really good. So I'm glad it's getting some attention and stuff. So yeah.
Sick. Damiani, you're up next. Also that day, Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, which I guess
it's already in
before.
HD.
No, it was Wii and 3DS.
Yeah,
it's always been in HD since it came out. It's beautiful.
I guess you could have technically played it in HD through various means if you wanted to at some point. But yeah, they just put out a trailer kind of celebrating how the Donkey Kong Country, if you want to throw all the land games in there as well, are almost all now on Switch, especially with this one arriving. And so, because they had Tropical Freeze port, they got the Super Nintendo trilogy, they got the Game Boy trilogy. I think people are just at this point asking for Donkey Kong 64 and the Game Boy Donkey Kong 94. So it's just get those on there, and you've got maybe is classic Donkey Kong on there for
I'm sure it is.
I forget if it is.
The NES version, not the arcade version.
Yeah, the NES version. It'd be nice if they could get an arcade version on there too, but. Yeah, Donkey Kong going strong. We were just talking about watching Iron Man 1 and 3, then 2, and here's Nintendo. But it made a little bit more sense to put out the second of these Returns games. Tropical Freeze came out a few years ago. The Switch port of it came out. And now we're going back to the original one that kind of revitalized Donkey Kong Country with Donkey Kong Country Returns. HD version. As you said already, originally was on Wii, but one of the biggest things about the Wii version is kind of locked into the unique control scheme of the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, so motion controls, and it didn't really, people almost immediately were finding ways to load options through special means to bypass that. But means. Now you don't really have to do that anymore, because that's one of the things is that they're going to offer you to use traditional inputs, or you could use the Joy-Cons with motion controls just like you did back then. So they're going to offer both, which is, probably like the best way to honestly play it, give people more choice. Updated visuals, which, those, they seem to look good, but then there are people who think they don't. It's always extremely subjected, I feel like, and sometimes. And
I've seen some investigating saying that there are stuff that was graphical elements that were in the Wii version then had to get cut for the 3DS version, and then in this it looks almost like they're going more from the 3DS version rather than the Wii version, something like that.
Yeah. No, obviously, you technical stuff, that's pretty definitive. But whether or not it looks better or not, it's up to you. But they're the fur. They're trying to replicate the fur of the Tropical Freeze version for Donkey Kong and Friends. They're trying to they're changing the lighting to make it look better. And then difficulty modes, because these newer ones, the Tropical Freeze and this, were kind of viewed as a little bit more challenging, the more challenging side for a Nintendo game. So there'll be the original mode, which is the same difficulty as everyone had to put up with, and then they're giving you they're calling it modern mode, which I guess people just don't want to say easy mode anymore. They're just trying to find new ways to say let's play it. If you're newer to games, or you're just your first time playing it, maybe play it on this one, because all it does is it gives extra hearts and items. It just makes it easier. And remember, we had Funky Kong or whatever in or Cranky Kong in Tropical Freeze to do the Scrooge McDuck imitation from DuckTales, the game, the pogo stick bouncing. So but it's a good game. It's an extremely good game, extremely great soundtrack, and it's a great compliment to Tropical Freeze. So if you like Tropical Freeze, you're pretty much gonna like this one, and it'll be interesting to see people who play them in reverse order, whether or not they think this is a step down or not, because a lot of us, like us, we played it in the release order, and it felt like improvement. So that would be my only concern, is that but I would wager people will say it still holds up pretty well.
Yeah, I actually have not played Returns. I've got these weird gaps in my Donkey Kong library. I've played very little of Donkey Kong Country 3. I have not played Donkey Kong 64, and I have not played Donkey Kong Country Returns. But I have played all of Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze.
Oh, yeah.
So,
I can't wait to go back and try this, because in my memory, I don't know, I always had, as much as I love Tropical Freeze, I always was tended to one of those rare people who's I don't know though, I just like the overall balance of the first one, but I never really went back, so I can't wait, especially with the graphical improvements, to try this again.
Yeah, I am curious, because I think, if I remember correctly, Tropical Freeze I think is harder, in my opinion, than the original. So I feel like this one, people might be oh, this is way more manageable, especially with the modern difficulty, because at least it's trying to let you get through your own your own means, rather than relying on a crutch. I mean, it is a crutch mechanic, but something that kind of fundamentally changes the gameplay, like a Cranky Kong, where it's you just don't die. It's or it's extremely difficult to die. Where if I had another, I got through this really difficult level, but I need one more heart, and it's this is what this is doing. It's you get a little bit more, of a handicap here, and it'll help you get across the finish line, versus something that radically changes your moment-to-moment gameplay, where it's because some people feel a little bit insulted or feel talked down to a little bit, a way to put it, when you rely on those difficulty modifiers, versus just giving people a little bit more just to push them over the line to get to the finish line.
Yeah. Next up, January 17th, Dynasty Warriors Origins. I don't know anyone's names on there, but obviously that's a long-running franchise with your masses of troops that you slash through 40 people at a time.
I've tried to get into Dynasty Warriors no less than 15 times, and every time I last 2 hours and I'm done. That's it.
Right?
even the Dragon Quest Heroes. I mean, that is a franchise that I'm obsessed with.
Yeah.
And even just Musos in general. I can only play them for so long.
That's the thing. For like 30 minutes, an hour,
amazing.
you're like, this is the sickest thing on earth. And after like 2.5 hours, you're like, I'm exhausted.
They're perfect for a group stream, honestly. Like, and then I'm like, okay, I'm glad I didn't buy that.
I know, it is funny. The novelty back then was like how many troops there were, how many people were there on screen, and now like normal games just do that. You know, I've seen Assassin's Creed Unity on the feed lately, just like with 1 million NPCs. So it's like, what is the hook now?
I like to get to know my enemies, you know?
yeah.
Mommy's tired. I want to see the whites of their eyes, and I want it to take me like 20 minutes to kill one guy.
Same. Yeah, they're just a number.
Like, even the press release literally says, like, 1 versus 1,000 combat.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh, God.
Which is also sick. I mean,
it's always...
Vermintide 2 and shit. Like,
I love
it.
that shit. It's just, I can't get into them. I try so hard.
Yeah, I think that the hard thing to me is the strategy side of it. Like, I could never quite wrap my head around, like, oh, I'm not in the right place right now. And, like, there's so many things telling me, he's like, you need to go over here, you need to go over here. And I'm like, but I'm trying to take care of this thing. I'm trying to put out one fire over here, and there's another fire starting over there. Like, where do I need to be? But yeah, similarly, I've just never had enough of a draw to like really invest. So, but obviously still running for, I don't know, 20, 25 years, maybe more.
Oh yeah, it's really cool. I love when series go on that long. It's amazing.
Oh, we were actually trying to think of a series that has a higher numbered thing than Final Fantasy. Dynasty Warriors.
Oh.
Sick.
I didn't think of that. We didn't allow like yearly sports games. We were like that not counting those.
But they actually get to a number? Did they get to a 17? I don't think they've gotten to 17.
Didn't you just say Dynasty Warriors 17?
No, Dynasty Warriors Origins.
Oh, damn it.
It's on January 17th.
Oh, they hoisted themselves in my mind. Never mind then. Final Fantasy reigns supreme, Damiani. Everything's fine.
No. High numbers aren't great, are they, though?
Not for sales, apparently.
Yeah.
Back to Damiani.
Uh-oh.
Tales of Grace's F Remastered.
Yeah.
Richard.
Another,
Is this the one with Richard?
Yeah, Richard's one of the characters.
Oh my god, this game.
What was his name? I'm looking up it now. Yeah, Richard.
Richard,
the Prince of Windor. Sorry,
all I remember from this game, dude.
I had to look up the Tales wiki because I wanted to get the name of the battle system, which is where Square Enix has ridiculous title names. Tales has like ridiculous battle system names because they get like really over the top with their naming system. But anyway, another game that was originally a Wii game released for Wii back who knows when in Japan.
And then F was the PS3.
Yes,
version,
and then
right?
we got a ported, in the West for PS3. We got Tales of Grace's F, with slightly updated visuals as well.
Is F the letter most used in video game names? Or is it S?
Sure.
Besides A. Yeah, anyway.
I'm not sure. And also, this was at a time where Tales games weren't coming out at the same time globally.
X.
So even F,
X,
the Tales
for sure, X.
Yeah.
You're right, X. Yeah,
Tales
yeah,
of Grace's F came out in Japan first, and then came out like a few years later in the West for the English version. So this is a good. I like this release because it's now it's setting a game free from both Wii and PS3.
Yeah.
PS3 is like, we want to set as many games free from PS3 as possible.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And this is being released like on everything, so that's one that I take that as a win right there.
Z.
And it's being released simultaneously, so I mean it's an older game being updated, and that's kind of like some of the concern. These have been hit or miss. Like I still refuse to play through the entirety of the Symphonia remaster because it's not great.
Yeah,
but
it was
whereas I
botched.
really like Tales
Fucking
of Vesperia.
GameCube had a better FPS, dude.
Yeah.
This
Whereas the
is
Tales of
insane.
Vesperia one I really like, and it's also a really good game. So Symphonia, but like I thought the Vesperia one went over a little bit better. And now we're here we're at Grace's, which is like in between. It's like Vesperia was 360, Symphonia was GameCube, and now we're like Wii. So it's like, all right, where's this one gonna land here? Is it gonna land on the good side? And I honestly, I think it probably will. Honestly, the port job of this will probably be. I feel like leaning towards pretty good. But this game, I did play it originally, and I will say that most people are probably gonna be interested because it's usually the name is tossed around as having like the best battle system of any Tales game, and it is called the Style Shift Linear Motion Battle System, commonly abbreviated as SS-LMBS. According to the Tales wiki. It's like, okay, all right.
Super
it is a really good battle system. And
rolls right off the tongue.
It is, has an extremely a lot of depth to it. You don't really have to always utilize that depth because Tales games offer you multiple difficulty settings they can change at any time. So unless you're really cranking up to harder difficulties, I don't think you're going to get as much out of the battle system on any of these games as if you played it on like a lower difficulty setting, obviously, because you can kind of like power your way through a lot, or like and just do what you feel comfortable with. But it is for those that want to like invest more in that. It's definitely one of the more comprehensive and well done battle systems. Where I would say just real quickly to wrap this up, this game, I wasn't a really big fan of its narrative or its cast. I don't really like this cast and didn't really that's one of the most important things in a RPG is having like the characters and their character development, or at least got to have like a very intriguing story. And neither of these were great. Even Grace's added extra stuff that wasn't in the Wii version. Still wasn't enough for me. So that's gonna. Your viewpoint might differ, but if you kind of hold a similar viewpoint as I do, that's gonna be the balance whether or not this game is worth like going back through just for the combat. If you really don't like the characters or story. So, but I'm curious, new people might jump into this and have, a different take on it. But I do remember a lot of the critical reviews back in the day saying like the characters and or the story were a little bit weak compared to like, especially coming off of like, Vesperia, not Vesperia, this came out after Vesperia, sorry. After Vesperia, and even Symphonia had a really great narrative as well.
Cross Ilia.
Yeah, I think that's really it. Yeah, it's I forget what it's going to cost. That might also be a big determining factor in a lot of people whether they get it or not. But we'll have to see. I wait for the technical performance breakdowns from like Digital Foundry or some site that will cover it before you leap in to buy it if you're interested. Yeah. I would say. Yeah, it's interesting that. I was a little surprised when you said that the battle system is so highly regarded, because obviously it's been like way more than a decade since I played it. But yeah, just my overall impression was like it was not one of the stronger Tales games from when I had reviewed it. Yeah. Yeah, it's not. I definitely would have put it in the top one. Like, honestly, you're also like flooded with those during that era. Like, there were so many coming out on like DS and PSP. Yeah, and just like we've everything. We've had a lot that still haven't come out over here. I mean, a few have been like ported over in recent times, but generally the staple ones like. We have Symphonia, like Abyss, Symphonia, Vesperia, or like
and Xillia, dude, fucking love Xillia.
Well, I'm talking about like those were like kind of like the pre-HD. Like Vesperia was the transition into HD, and then you had after that you had Xillia 2. Had not Hysteria. Was it that one? You had Berseria, you had Arise, the most recent one, but yeah, I would say like I'm kind of surprised that Abyss. Wasn't done before this one. It did get a 3DS port, but not, like Abyss feels like it would be one of their bigger, more popular selling entries. So I'm kind of surprised they haven't revisited Abyss yet, and I'm kind of wondering if there's some kind of like licensing landmine field that they're trying to like trying to navigate that might be what's holding it up, or maybe. They see they don't need to release it just yet. I don't know. But would be more excited for Abyss at this point. But we'll see. Some people, at least having this available is a good thing because we still don't have all the Tales games available in the West. So need us to keep going and do it, and Bandai Namco would keep, in the Tales team to keep supporting this. Yeah.
Then the 23rd, January 23rd, we have Ender Magnolia, Bloom in the Mist, which is a sequel to Ender Lilies.
Ender Lilies was pretty sick.
Did you get to play it?
Yeah, I didn't beat it. I played like half of it. I liked it though. I thought it was cool. Real cool like vibe.
Yeah, because it's one that I've seen people speak highly of, but I just have not like got my hands on before.
You got little ghost buddies and stuff.
Yeah.
It's neat.
It's set like decades after the first game. Fantasy Metroidvania, kind of side-scrolling. It's like a painted art style that reminds me of something kind of like a little bit of like Child of Light at times, and other times like a little bit of like Odin Sphere. And they're talking about cleansing corruption from 10 plagued bosses. And then with the combat system, it's interesting because they talk about there's like 30 abilities, but you like equip 4 at a time, so you kind of customize like your fighting style with that. So it's a nice little indie to keep an eye out for, and it's been in early access for a bit, but now it's hitting the 1.0 launch.
CDJ in chat says Ender Lilies is on PS Plus right now.
Oh,
that's cool.
Yeah.
Catch up.
PS Plus.
Who knows?
Cheat mode or
who knows?
Yeah.
It's all garbage now. Who knows?
Yeah, I guess there is no cheat mode now.
Yeah. Extra, apparently. Thanks, Mad Rise.
Got it. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth is hitting PC on the 23rd as well.
Much sooner, I think, anyone ever anticipated. That was a little bit of a surprise announcement when we got that. So that is definitely a good sign that they're getting these out faster. So we, this is. I'm very curious to see about this game's sales because it's not going to be gated to Epic Game Store this time. It will be on Steam the same day, so you can pick either of those storefronts. Whether how big of like where it shoots up to, because we'll get that Circana report after, and we'll maybe get to see or Square Enix might release like if it is very, very well. It's just like kind of the reality of the situation that people want to see, like how much of a how well does this do? Like people are going to be looking at like the player activity on this game.
Right.
I think it's honestly going to be pretty high because I think you get so many people double dipping, probably like more so than even like Remake, because it's going to be on Steam right away. So people are going to be in there, wanting to like mess around with like whatever mods come up and stuff like that. And then also it's coming on in advance of a new generation of graphics cards that'll be like, this is coming out a little too soon maybe. It's like a week ahead of the graphics cards, the new one's coming out. So just seeing this game run on
a week ahead,
PC.
I mean, that's perfect timing, honestly.
Seeing it on PC with potentially better performance if you're fortunate enough to have a rig that can run it better than even your PlayStation 5 Pro if you have one of those, because they did update this game for PS5 Pro. Has its own visual graphics setting on there, but it's clear that like if you have a more modern PC rig, you're gonna like just blow that out of the water. And being able to see like the full potential of this game running, people who will be able to run at 4K, like 120 frames, 60 frames, whatever they end up getting it to run at. And yeah, just like that extra, like, detail.
Feels like the James Cameron of video games, dude, for sure.
Like, you look playing how blurry it looked on PlayStation. You're probably absolutely not going to have that, hopefully. And there will probably be mods, to fix something like that if that is present on that version.
Get Chadley out of there.
I mean, yes, dude, I'm just looking forward to the quality of life updates that, like, tweak those stupid challenge things that are so ridiculous at the end from Chadley that we're required to get some. Well, there's no trophies. I mean, there's Steam stuff, but like I'm not like there is an item you do get for doing all of that stuff, and I kind of wanted to get that, and I still haven't gotten the PlayStation version because it's too much of a hassle. I don't want to deal with it. And even the director said that they apologized. It was too hard. They didn't mean it. But anyway, I think this is a good moment because
the pitch of the menu confirmation sound. Just it's like just like a little bit of like pinprick into my eardrum. That sound, like I don't know what it is about it. It's like it's not. It's like ow.
I mean, I think it's a good time for it to come out. I think it'll have, hold a lot of people's attention for like at least a little bit because of that nice window it's carving out. And because it's coming out so soon after the original release, I think, it's poised to maybe do like a little bit better than maybe past ones. And hopefully it's a sign of it's further indication that they're keeping true to their word, that they want to really refocus on multi-platform releases going forward and not being exclusive. And there was that interview that came out where Hamaguchi also said that, yes, he said, we were pleased. The Final Fantasy 17 was pleased with the sales and performance of this game, but we don't think exclusivity is probably in the best interest of our games going forward. So I think that's maybe some optimism for potentially the third entry. They call this the Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth Project. I keep calling it Trilogy. I had to look it up. It's like their official title for all these games is the Final Fantasy 7 Remake Project. I'm like, oh, okay. Not trilogy.
It's a tetralogy.
Well, it might be more than 3. You never
Shocker.
know. They might be lying to us. That's the big reveal at the end. Who knows? Yeah. But good times.
I think they counted Crisis Core in there.
There you go. Huber, the resident Final Fantasy 7 expert here.
I still like the idea that the third one, instead of, it starts with the 7 and then they add the X, so it's 17. I think that's a funny idea.
And the same day, also January 23rd, Huber, you had to bring this to my attention. Star Wars Episode 1, Jedi Power Battles.
Yes, dude. Yes. This game is like a 6 for sure.
Cool.
But I have very, very, very fond memories of this as a child. Yes. They just announced today you can play as Jar Jar, so Sophia's pumped as fuck.
Hell yes.
Yeah. Yeah. 6 is even generous. This game I remember revisiting it years ago, and I was shocked by how bad it was. I was like, whoa! But this is a full remaster, so maybe they've kind of touched up a little bit of the controls here and there. Who knows how much work has gone into it? But I'm still eager to just dip in because it's so nostalgic. Like somebody said, an elementary school game, 100%. I remember we had 10 o'clock days, and I remember you wouldn't go to class until 10. I can remember just like meeting at my friend's house and us just playing Jedi Power Battles before walking to school.
You know what that reminds me of? Is Home Alone on the Super NES. Has such a bad reputation.
Yeah.
But we rented that. We played
Hell yeah.
Home Alone, why not?
Yeah. Yeah, it's like a co-op beat 'em up basically. So just not a very good one, but it should still be fun to take a peek at it.
January 27th.
Big day.
Huber has been waiting. Multiple Darkest Dungeon 2 DLCs.
So fucking hype, dude.
Free and paid.
Yeah, the paid one is bringing the Abomination back from the first game. Turns into like a werewolf beast. Super intense. He stresses out your party though, so it's like a thing you got to contend with, And they're adding a little mini area also with that into the campaign. The campaign is like you'll go into new zones each round, but there's right now there's just one bonus one called the Sluice it counts as just a bonus. It doesn't count as like a zone you're going in. Okay. This one is adding another one of those, so something just really small. It's the Catacombs. They're adding like the old goo monsters from the first one, so just a little extra enemies and class for the main game is really cool. But the big one is Kingdoms, which is free DLC. And this is an entirely brand new mode for this game, where you build up your town. You build up your kingdom, so to speak, and enemies will invade. You can upgrade your structures, kind of like the first game. So it's kind of trying to appease to a lot of the fans of the first one that didn't like the second one as much. And it's free, and there's going to be 3 of them, which I think is really, really cool. So it's just nice to see that Darkest Dungeon 2 keeps on getting better and better, keeps on kicking. So, yeah, very excited. It's like my most anticipated right now. Can't wait.
Next day, January 28th. I'm looking forward to this, and Huber, you actually got to play a little bit. Eternal Strands.
Eternal Strands.
Which I'm actually surprised is already coming out. Like, we just kind of found out about this game last year.
Yeah.
From
another in the prophesied Strand genre.
Newer Canadian team, Yellow Brick Games, and it is like a more colorful, more dynamic game, kind of inspired by Shadow of the Colossus, but then with like all of this other stuff. And so like the giant colossi or beast boss guys, they wander around the world a lot more, and so you might not fight them in the same locations, in the same conditions every time. And there's like weather systems and day-night systems that affect like all of your elemental things, and so you've got to like kind of work with that. And like you were like freezing guys in place and stuff.
Oh, it was so cool. Yeah, there was like a giant beast, and I just kept freezing its legs, and then it would try to like break free. But while I was trying to break free, I just kept like hacking at it and like trying to climb it while it was distracted. It played really well. I was really shocked how much I enjoyed my little gameplay demo of that. Because when I saw the trailer, I was like, oh, okay, that looks fine. You know, kind of like Monster Hunter-y in a way. But yeah, the loop seemed really addicting too. Going out, killing the monsters, coming back, getting stronger. Always a good time. But then just using the elemental powers, they all seemed really fun. Just like, you know, how fun is it just spraying a wall of fire at someone? Like, it's crazy.
Yeah. But then like similarly with the environment and stuff, like they're talking about like a big like flame monster, like if you fight them in like a big grasslands, and then all of a sudden like the whole world around you is on fire, and like
crazy.
Okay, like I need to climb on this thing and then not get shaken off into an inferno.
Yeah, seemed cool.
Yeah. And some, like you were saying, like some of the like action-y elements of like how your character can move around. It's not like that slow climbing all the time. Like you can like grapple up to higher parts more quickly and use it other ways to get on top of things.
Totally.
Huber, you are very hyped on Tales of Iron 2.
Extremely hyped on this, dude. I cannot wait.
I've never played the first one, so tell me.
So I played the first one, but I never finished it back in the day, and I always meant to go back to it. Thankfully, when you're sick, you have a lot of free time. So now I'm almost done with the first one.
Oh.
So what is this like? Because it's like a hand-drawn like, mouse adventure.
So the visuals.
Oh, this one, yeah.
The visuals kind of remind me of Darkest Dungeon, which I love.
Yeah.
But it's a Souls-like, and Souls-like RPG. It's not really like a Metroidvania, although it looks kind of like that, when the map opens up and stuff. But basically, you're this rat, and your kingdom gets overrun by frogs, which they call pond scum, which I'm obsessed with.
That's appropriate.
There's like other animal factions too. Just the world is really fleshed out. It's narrated by Doug Cockle, aka Geralt.
Yep.
And that elevates this game like to a whole letter grade for sure. His narration is amazing.
Great voice for a narrator.
He's incredible in this. It is so good. He makes it so cozy, and like the rats, like when they talk to each other, it's just like kind of whistles, like. But then he'll narrate the thoughts and the conversation of like kind of what happens. And yeah, combat's chill. Like combat's a little splashy. It took me like a little bit to get into. Where
in the first one.
Where it like almost didn't feel like it was doing what I wanted it to, but it's just like it's extremely deliberate. Like when you dodge roll, just like you better just like push it and that's it. Don't like mash it. So yeah, it's very just like kind of slow and deliberate combat. But the world is really cool, and again, it's a pretty short game. But now the second one, I've just been like reading some previews about it and them talking about just how much more refined the combat is nice. The one semi-weak link of the game, and if that is improved, like this game is going to be something special for sure. So really high hopes for Tales of Iron 2. You're like awesome. You're in the north now or something. It's like very Game of Thrones. It's like winter vibes.
Whiskers of Winter.
Yeah.
Is the subtitle, yeah.
Yeah, because in the first one you're like this younger brother, like trying to be king. You're just this small little rat, but now in the second one, like you're a big warrior type. They added magic in the new one too, so the next one just seems like way better. So, I hopes.
Nice. I haven't seen a lot of this, but since last summer. But on January 29th, Robots at Midnight is coming out. And I played this at Summer Game Fest, and I actually went back and rewatched my impressions of it to kind of remind myself of some of the stuff that I saw, because it was a while ago, and there's a lot of games that we play in preview. And Huber, you were actually like really excited for what I was talking about at the time, but they even referenced at Summer Game Fest that, like, you know, similar to Another Crab's Treasure, they wanted to have a Souls-like that was a little bit more on the lighter side of things, and like a little bit more cartoony, you know, more approachable. And so when they saw like Another Crab's Treasure, it's like, oh, they're doing the same thing that we're doing, you know. So, but yeah, so you are this character who is in this like abandoned luxury destination that's now like overrun by robots, and you've got like this robo fist that has like a lot of your UI and stuff on it, but that's like one of like the risk reward things, is that like you can charge up your fist and like smash a robot to like stun them, but obviously that charge time, like you're leaving yourself open, and so like figuring out exactly like when the best openings are to use that, and then you've got just like various melee weapons and stuff that you can find off of enemies. One of the other, there are a few other like very Huber-centric things in this game. There's a robot boss that was like a baseball player that I fought in the demo there, and then the midnight in the title is actually very very specific, because after midnight, when it's dark out, robots that you defeated come back as like crimson heads.
Oh.
And so they're like more aggressive and more crazy and stuff. And so I imagine there's probably some balance that you gotta watch out for. It's like, maybe don't take out every single little guy roaming around, because you're gonna regret it later.
The robot gremlins effect.
Yeah.
I thought you said, when you said defeated, I thought you said that you feeded. And I
feeded.
Exactly like gremlin.
But yeah, Huber, I was just I know you probably walked away, but like with the robots, I was just saying that like after you defeat them, then after midnight they kind of come back as like Crimson Head type enemies.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
Can you like hunker down for the nighttime? Is it like Dying Light style?
I'm not sure about like how, like if there's like a sleep option, or if you just need to be on your guard, and you know, like I was just saying, is like if maybe you don't want to take out everything in the daytime, because then you've got to contend with stronger enemies at night.
Yeah.
So
it looks really cozy.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's the idea. Like your armor is just like a bunch of like different kind of like 80s style jackets, you know, stuff like that. Just a little bit more colorful.
Yeah, I really like how the lead character looks in this game. Really good design.
Yeah. She's pretty cool. Then on the 30th, we got a nice little pile of games. We have Hello Kitty Island Adventure. It's coming out for PC and Switch. That's been out on Apple Arcade for a long time, but it is now making the leap to the big screen. I saw that at Summer Game Fest as well, and was surprisingly impressed by it. So if you're into the Animal Crossing style gameplay, but you want like more frequent and substantial updates. They seem to be just have like this huge roadmap of stuff that they're just constantly adding to that game, and it sounds like pretty huge. And it's this interesting mix of like the Animal Crossing style town building and doing favors for people, but also just going out and exploring this like really, really large environment. The one thing that I hope that they tweaked is when I played the Switch version at Summer Game Fest, the camera was just like a little like too zoomed in for me, and like as a result of being on a phone, it's like okay, maybe pull that back a little bit if I'm really like exploring and finding my way around the space. But yeah, I don't want to go too into it because most people probably aren't going to be into Hello Kitty stuff, but it's surprisingly actually really well done.
Yeah, I mean, even if you're not into the like, I'm not into Hello Kitty the brand, but the game did look pretty like just adorable and fun.
Yeah. Also adorable and fun, and also on January 30th, Jumping Jazz Cats. It's a nice little 3D platformer, multiplayer platformer where you're running around with a bunch of cats, playing as cats, jazz music going on. Cute little one there. Spider-Man 2 is coming out on PC that day. And also on January 30th, Huber Sniper Elite Resistance, which I don't know if you know much about the new one.
I know about it, yeah. I beat 3 and 4, but I didn't have time to finish 5. This is like a parallel story to 5, I believe. I don't know what is new for Resistance, so I just know that it's like a kind of a parallel thing to 5. Those games are really fun, though. They're super fun. Just good stealth, good like sandbox. You know, it's like Hitman vibes, but primarily sniping, obviously, which Hitman does as well. But yeah, if you like Hitman, if you like killing Nazis, if you like war stuff, sniping, stealth, really, really cool games. I encourage check them out.
Nice. And then TBD January, Dawn, Lonely Mountain Snow Riders.
Yes.
So the first Lonely Mountains game was mountain biking, and now they're doing a sequel that's all about like skiing and snowboarding and stuff like that. So yeah, what are you thinking, Don?
Yeah, I downloaded the demo. It's available now. So if you have any interest in this, I encourage you check it out. The demo is a blast. This game is just everything about it is working very good. Downhill skiing. First of all, it's like this sort of semi-isometric view, which immediately I thought was going to be a problem because you can't freely control the camera. But the camera work in this game is like so perfect and thoughtfully done, because as you're going down the mountain, you know, you have branching paths, actually, different kind of areas of the terrain you can explore and take advantage of. But just it knows when to zoom out, it knows when to turn right, turn left in a really natural way. It just works. And the feeling, just they've put so much into the feel of the powder and carving, and it just feels so perfect. It's just like super fun. And that I didn't even get into the multiplayer aspect of it, which is a big part of it. I've seen it on the trailer, and that just looks insanely fun because you're, you know, competing either on a speed-based or trick-based running, and a nice variety of terrain. You've got like frozen lakes you can skate across, and, you know, cliffs you're dropping off of. It just is so fun and beautiful looking. Just this really nice sparkling snow everywhere and soft powdery, you know, snow bursting as you carve through it and stuff like that. So everything about the demo felt great. This and immediately too in the demo, it's like they give you a few events you can go through and beat, but like super addictive, where you're like, I gotta run this, you know, you're trying to beat your times, you're trying to beat whatever, and it's just like you want to go down and see how can I approach this mountain differently. The stage design, you know, the geography of the mountain, the way you traverse it is just like excellent, you know, super fun.
Yeah.
So
I
definitely
played
check
a bit
the
of
demo out.
the first game, and it has a nice, like, because it's kind of like you can approach it however you want to, you know, it's like kind of bring your own style or attitude to it, because it's like, on the one hand, you can just be satisfied just like rolling down these mountains and just being very relaxed and you know just chilling out in these spaces. But then, like you're saying, it's like then they're like these kind of like goal times and stuff like that. So if you'd like, oh, okay, I want to find those shortcuts. I want to figure out like the best way to like master the physics and get through these courses in the best time that I can. And you know, so it's like you can go like just very relaxed to very hardcore. And so like it really works, I think, for a lot of people, and I think that's
perfect.
So well.
Yeah, that's really good that you actually say it that way. It's like that's the exact vibe I have. It's like it's super satisfying if you just want to cruise down the mountain and be enjoying a little leisurely ride, but yet if you want to be like fiercely competitive, like there's that aspect of it too. I saw something in the trailer which I actually didn't do in the demo, but apparently you can like, I don't know if you can do it anywhere. I think you can. There's some mechanic where you can just like get off your skis or whatever and sit down and chill and just like look at the environment and stuff, which looks super awesome too.
Is it skis only, or can you snowboard?
From what I've seen so far, it's only skis. So I'm not sure, but you can change your outfits and gear and all of that, and then also just the scale of it. Like it's not quite the tilt shift effect, but a little bit of that, where it's the focal distance they kind of mess with, and sometimes you get into these like really small areas that are just like super detailed and pristine, and then other times you can see like epic distance between whether you're jumping cliffs or just below you is like huge drop-offs to the terrain far below, just like if you've ever been up on any like large skiing mountain. So just the scale of it too is so pretty.
From what I'm seeing so far, I'm only seeing skis reference, so
brutal.
But
but
maybe
I guess
something in there that I'm missing.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, I don't know, because the one day I did go snowboarding, I was crashed like 1 billion times because I'm a skier. But so it might be the same way, because that's the thing. Because of the sort of isometric view, that was kind of what I was worried about. It's like, because it's like, okay, left is always left and right, so but it actually works perfectly. But then with the snowboard, I don't know if that would get like, I guess it'd be nice because it would have to be a slightly different control scheme, I guess. How it feels.
It does have leaderboards.
Oh, boards of a kind, after a fashion.
Got some boards in there.
And then, closing out, January 31st, Citizen Sleeper 2. Dude. I imagine is somebody's sizzle.
I love it. It's good. I'm saving my sizzle for a different one, but
I'm sizzling this. This is Goaty Watch right
sizzle
now.
It.
This is the first true Goaty of 2025. I'm calling it now. Let's sizzle.
Have you?
I've been playing.
As of today, they changed the embargo, so we actually by delaying this podcast, we got the one upside. One upside is I could actually talk about this game. Have you played it yet, Huber, or no? Yeah, so I've played. This is partly why my eyes are so tired right now. If you see me like going like, oh my god, is because I played like 6 hours of Citizen Sleeper 2 right before this, and maybe 4 hours. It's a lot of reading, but oh my god, it's so good. It's like everything you loved about Citizen Sleeper 1, but you add the ability to traverse from place to place. So you go from. You'll be on one station and then like you're kind of on the run. You're being chased by somebody. And then you go to another station and then, just like Citizen Sleeper 1, at a station you have characters, you have, cantinas and gambling areas and like the docks and the factory floor where you can do odd jobs. You can like find a job that suits your skill set. Like my character's an operator, so I'm good at the interface skill, which is basically hacking. And so I'm always looking for those because you have dice that you basically they roll at the beginning of every day, and then you have 1 through 6. But like random assortment of them, and you assign them to different tasks. And the better your number, the higher your number, plus your skills, the better you're at those skills, the better you have a chance at doing that task. So a 5 or a 6, if you're skilled in that thing, you pretty much 100% positive result you can expect. But it tells you the chances, which is nice. So it's really just a satisfying gameplay mechanic because the story is phenomenal and all of that. But like gameplay wise, you really do feel like it's like a press your luck kind of a thing. It's a managing your resource thing. It's a little bit of randomness with the numbers. And, really cool characters and stuff so far. What's really neat is the jobs, the contracts. So in Citizen Sleeper 1, you kind of just did stuff where they were like, hey, go here, and like you had to roll some dice and stuff and tra-la-la. And this, obviously, like that's the core mechanic of the game. So you're still rolling dice, but you and your little crew, and you can find a crew or not, you can assemble a crew or not on the job I went on. They were like, hey, you could just go for it, but maybe you want to get a crew. You go, and then like you're managing your energy, your stress levels, your health. Basically, it's like the health of your dice kind of. But if you bought supplies ahead of time, you have that many cycles of days basically that you can be on this job. So like if you fly your ship, or the ship flies itself, but like you pick on a big map of the area, hey, I want to go out to this derelict ship or whatever it is, and then you're out there and there are tasks you need to perform on that ship or whatever, on that job. And it might take you several cycles, or what days are called, basically. And like you have to manage your resources and like see which things your crew is good at and all kinds of stuff. It's fantastic. It's so good so far. It could shit the bed, but I doubt it. I'm very excited to keep on trucking on it and for it to come out and everybody to get to play it, because it's like. I was a little surprised at how quickly it came out after the first one, especially because they'd been doing like DLCs and stuff like that. But it feels like a solid sequel. Like it's everything you love from the first one expanded, added gameplay mechanics, added scope. It's really, 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 really cool. I don't know what else I could say without getting like super specific, but yeah, it's dope as shit.
Yeah, Huber, what are you thinking? What's intriguing you?
Oh, just more but better. It's what I wanted. Absolutely. Hype for that soundtrack.
The soundtrack is quite good. Yeah.
Oh, nice.
And it's like already like I'm worried about characters because like stuff happened. I had to like leave. And I'm like, but I liked that person. Like, what's their deal? Like, I just started their story. Like, and I'm in like a completely different place, I'm so like, fun. Will I ever see them again? Like, I don't know. It's wild. It really gives you like, because the first game takes place on one station, right? You can't really get off. And like this one really gives you that kind of like Cowboy Bebop kind of like going from place to place, like a ragtag crew, like. It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Nice. Moving into February. February 4th, we're starting off with Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, which is not something that any of us are into as far as I know. I know Peter, you kind of bounced off the first a little bit.
Yeah, I keep hearing that the second one is like a fucking masterpiece, though. I saw previews came out today. So.
Oh, there were more previews today?
Oh,
I know
yeah.
IGN had some stuff earlier.
A lot of people were like, yo. Oh.
Yeah. So we might take a look at it, but like it's just not something that's ever been that appealing to me. I haven't played the first one, but yeah, if you're not familiar, it's kind of like trying to recreate like medieval Bohemia, like 1400s, like like more historically accurate as they can or whatever. So not dragons and stuff running around, like the political issues and sword fighting and stuff like that might be there. I don't know too much about it, but I know a lot of people are very excited about it, even if I'm not. A week later, February 11th, Civilization 7.
That's my sizzle, bitch.
There
Woo! Yeah, I'm allowed to say that you might hear more about this next week.
Nice.
But yeah, this game looks great. Really good. Improvements in a lot of things, really neat gameplay stuff. Because I got to play it back at Gamescom, and so it's really good. And like Age's system is really interesting and strange, and it has like weaponized one more turn ism.
Right.
Cause like, oh baby, you don't know what time it is. You don't know how long has passed. You don't want to stop. It'll be fun once we all get to play it.
Yeah. We'll keep it brief because we will have more to say, as she mentioned. February 12th. One that I've been kind of like on the back burner, a little curious about. Urban Myth Dissolution Center.
Oh.
It's kind of an indie investigation. What are these the buzz terms here? Psycho detective mystery adventure, supernatural investigation, and
occult cyberpunk. Lovecraft.
Well, think more of like Ace Attorney or something, but with like supernatural stuff.
I was just saying buzzwords.
Yeah. But yeah, so like you actually do have like
Wukong. That's
you actually
funny.
do have like different case files. It seems like it has like an episodic structure where like, okay, you have this case and then you complete the case and then you move on to the next case. And so also like really interesting art style. It kind of reminds me of like if you tried to like have like a manga on like a Game Boy Color or something like that. Like a lot of the colors like very monochrome, but then like very like bright reds and things like that to kind of stand out. You see memories of places through the main character's glasses, navigate cursed relics, dimensional anomalies, and otherworldly creatures in search of answers, delving into the paranormal activity surrounding each case.
I see everything through my glasses.
Do you see paranormal creatures?
Sometimes.
Okay.
Couple
Not
times.
just when you get migraines, but
Yeah, no. Yeah, that too.
But yeah, so it's an interesting looking one, and coming out February 12th for that one. February 14th, Valentine's Day. Assassin's Creed was going to be on that day, but they just moved it.
Now it's still have Captain America.
Oh, is it?
Apparently. And I'm sorry, they have a billboard. I need to talk about this. There's a billboard of Captain America holding the vibranium shield, and it's being punched by Red Hulk, and there's Red Hulk's punching it enough to do sparks, right? And unless he has gotten some kind of super serum.
Your lack of knowledge is about to show. I'm going to stop you right now. Vibranium disperses energy.
No, I know that. I know that the vibranium disperses the energy, but that's Red fucking Hulk, dude. Like, no amount...
Making sparks.
No amount of dispersed energy. He still has to hold it with his hand, or his arm. His body would be liquefied, dude.
His wings are probably
His wings could shock absorb. His wings could shock absorb. I've been thinking about this for weeks, dude. There's a billboard by my house. His wings could shock absorb as much as they want. His arm is still gonna liquefy, dude.
Well, that might be the end of the... Maybe he's about to get squished by a bug. You just see when it's like first making contact.
Not this Cap. This Cap doesn't have super serum. The original Cap.
Superpowers.
This is just a human with some wings.
What if that was the fucking catchphrase of the movie?
Just a human with a wing. Anyway, I know the shield disperses energy, Huber. I know that, but I don't buy it. That's not how physics works.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Anyway, sorry, Blood. Valentine's Day.
Well, it's okay because February 14th, the first thing on my list is Date Everything.
Oh, dude, yeah, that looks fun. Sorry, I got myself all
pushed.
Irritated. Wait, Date Everything got pushed?
Well, it got pushed to Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Because
I mean, the perfect day for
push it. Then why don't we put it on Valentine's Day?
Yeah, exactly. You can play it when you're stuck in traffic for 40 hours.
Seriously.
But But yeah, so if you want to date a lamp, or
Which,
curtain
who doesn't?
rod, or a cabinet, or what else is in there?
Like a big house.
Lamp, curtain rod, cabinet.
Like, it's just the most ridiculous.
Fuck, marry, kill. Lamp, curtain rod, cabinet.
But they all have like it's what's the funniest thing is that like they all do transform into like supermodel.
Yeah, they're all gorge.
characters. But then like the door, like you still see like a door like looking dress around somebody
Yeah.
or something.
I love this idea. I think it's cute. I wanted to get into play it at Gamescom, but the schedule didn't work out. But
Right.
yeah,
I'll marry the lamp.
okay.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, the curtain rod's a no-brainer. Kill the cabinet, I guess.
Sorry, cabinet.
Sorry, cabinet.
Yeah. Take it out to the woodshed, literally.
Oh man, it's so weird. But yeah, there you go. Your romance options are many, and date everything. Yeah, another one that everyone talks so highly of, but none of us have gotten into. I don't think. The Legend of Heroes: Trails Through Daybreak 2.
Yeah.
A lot of
Another
these
one of
now.
those. What's that?
A lot of these games.
Yeah,
it feels
there
like.
are, right?
Jeez.
Well, the tricky thing here too is that they're also like filling in gaps of things that didn't release here before. So like I have no idea. I don't know what the timeline and everything. Yeah.
I hope they're starting with the remake of the original one, whenever that one comes out. That it's like they do all those in sequential order, because if that's true, I'm more likely to try and start playing some of this. That first one they're doing, I'm definitely gonna try that out just to see, because I've never touched one of these games. So it's like, sure, we'll do the first one when I'm pretty sure that's this year, right?
Yeah.
It is.
I don't know about
I
that
don't
one.
remember the date, but just whenever. Yeah.
Sumoini says we're one game behind in the West
Okay.
One game behind here. Okay, so we're getting
Get
caught
in
up.
there.
with this release.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then also February 14th, Tomb Raider 4 to 6 remastered, hot on the heels of last year's Tomb Raiders 1 to 3. It's funny that they say 4 to 6.
I thought that threw me off big time. I was like, wait,
Yeah.
what?
Yeah, so it is
4, 5,
the
and 6?
last
Legends.
Revelation that came out
Yes.
in
Here we go.
1999.
Yeah, the
Tomb Raider
Darkness or
Chronicles that was
something.
2000, and Tomb Raider: The Angel of Darkness from 2003.
I now get it. Dynasty Warriors is going to do this in the future, and Origins will be named 18 by that
Yeah,
point.
there
It
it
will
is.
beat Final Fantasy.
Then they'll beat them.
$30. It's from Aspire, which this stuff has been kind of hit or miss. Particularly the last set. Like I had some people that really
Yeah,
dug into man, some of these textures look real bad.
did they ever
remastered version.
fix that or do anything, or did they just leave it as is? Do you know? I don't know. I didn't heard. Yeah.
Considering that they're just already pumping this one out, probably not.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah.
The nice thing, at least, is that it does have the toggle, the one button toggle to go between the original version and remaster version.
Heck yeah.
So that's good.
That's always fun.
They have a photo mode. They have some other quality of life features they're adding in boss health bars and stuff like that. And then they also have an option between modern controls or the original tank controls.
Great.
So the good news is at least there's lots of options there. So hopefully if there's something that seems dumb, you can just go and switch it off. But we will see. February 18th. Oh my goodness, what a day. First off, we got Avowed, which I previewed a couple weeks back. That is from Obsidian. That is in the Pillars of Eternity universe.
Trust
but,
them.
What's that?
I trust Obsidian.
Yeah. No,
It's
it
looking
was,
better, yeah. They had
Yeah,
that one
but-
trailer where I was like, ooh.
Yeah,
The
the
two
combat
times that
looked
I
a little
played it,
weird.
I've really, really liked what I played.
Yeah.
And yeah, this last time, playing at home and getting to spend a little bit more time with it. Definitely go back and check out that earlier preview, but just the amount of weapons, Huber, remember I was telling you about that? There's oh, here's a sword, and then here's an axe, and then here's a two-handed axe, and here's a spear, and here's a sniper, and just so many different options to get in there very early and experiment with and figure out like, okay, what is like the feel that I want to go into with this, you know? And then like also having like the whole magic thing where it's like you can have a spell book and a little wand, or you can just, you know, have a spell book and a sword, and then you can like quickly, like there's a button to like swap between like multiple loadouts.
Let's make 2025 the year of the spear.
Whoa. Kaladin
Spear
says hello.
And then good companions there. Same guy that was voice of Garrus in Mass Effect.
I love that voice.
Yeah.
Open class system, so you kind of have like a little bit more freedom to just kind of put skill points into things you want to put skill points into. And then from the quests that I've done so far, there are also some really nice, feels like really nice branching paths for like how you can approach situations, and like go back and talk to somebody else and be like, oh, you what you could do that? I didn't do that at all. I didn't approach it that way at all. So so be nice, be a jerk, go help a woman find peace with her lizard friends, or kill them all off. Whatever your choice might be.
Make peace, then kill them all.
Also that day, February 18th, my sizzle, Lost Records, Bloom and Rage. Actually, just the first half of that, because they were doing
Love
like
that.
kind of episodic style release.
Two halves, I think, is such a smart answer to that, Bloodworth, because we talk about it all the time with Life is Strange, you know, our spoiler mode of just...
Two in particular, yeah.
Yeah, just finding that right balance, because these games, you really want to sit in some of those feelings and process them and discuss them and talk it out with other people. So I think doing 1 month, it's like a month apart, right?
Yeah, about a month
I think that's so awesome. That's gonna be really fun, that month gap in between.
Yeah. And then I did a preview for that as well, so go check out all the details there. But basically, you know, you're playing as these, you know, 4 teenage girls in the 90s. They get to know each other. They form a band. They go out in the woods to, like, you know, shoot some stuff for the music video, and then something happens. Something weird and freaky happens that causes them to not talk to each other for like 30 years.
Whoa. Yellow Jackets, dude.
And then they get some mysterious
100%.
package in the mail.
I think it comes out that day too, right? Or Valentine's Day, right?
Yellow Jackets comes out right around then.
That's very funny.
So they get this package in the mail that's like addressed to the band, and they're like, what the heck is this? You know, and they're like, it seems they know about those events. And so you kind of like are playing the 90s part of the game through the perspective of these characters as adults. And so every once in a while, like, you'll get like a present day comment like coming through over events, or somebody will get a phone call and like all of a sudden like, oh, we're in the diner and this is what we look like 30 years later. You know, it's really interesting how those two storylines are gonna play out.
Yellow Jackets season 3, Valentine's Day.
Got it.
Very close. Wow.
So people will be right in the mood.
Yeah.
And then just the mechanics of it. The camcorder thing is really fun to play around with. The don't nod details in every environment. And just looking at every single thing in a room and deciding like, what am I gonna photograph? What am I gonna record video of? And the fact that like when you go back, kind of like later in the later part of that I played, is like you play the actual things that you shot, you know, as like the actual moments that you shot are edited together, and the girls are like reacting to what you shot. It's just a nice feel to it.
That's cool.
But yeah, looking forward to that. Huber, you're feasting. February 21st, Like a Dragon, Pirate Yakuza in Hawaii.
Yeah, dude.
That title, dude.
Talking to Don about this naval combat video they just released.
Oh yeah, they just had a direct.
Yes.
Dude, it looks out of control.
Yeah, this game's my sizzle, Huber.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Let's go, dude. We got him.
You're big time.
Yakuza.
Go for it, Huber. Tell
You
me.
go for it, dude. Spit about the fucking pirate mechanics.
Well, I'm a Yakuza lightweight. I've only dabbled with them a lot, and so not like you, I think you've thoroughly played them all, right? Yakuza
Yeah.
Master. So, no, just everything about this. I mean, it's hitting perfectly. This is like such a bizarre combination of things that's just working in every single way. It's like a modern setting, but the pirate aspect of it. So you've got lasers that you can attach to your ships, but they've also got, it's like traditional looking combat, arcadey combat, obviously, in terms of the ship battles, all that classic Yakuza combat,
Dude, boarding ships.
Yeah, boarding ships and having then the big old melee combat.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing I noticed about this. There's a lot of it seems like more characters than most Yakuza. I don't know, like in the individual battles, it seemed like when you boarded those ships, there was like 30 or 40 guys on board.
Seemed like a lot for sure.
Dang it looks fun. These dark gods you can summon, like all these specter, like jellyfish and shark, and like different sort of shadow powers you can.
We're back to Elden Ring.
You could bring in. Man, everything about this game looks so fun.
One of the best things about the Yakuza series lately has just been the love and care into the side activities. That they have like full on side games that you can just sink so many hours into, and they're never phoned in. They're always super good, like the Mario Kart racing or the baseball mini game, like the obviously like fighting arenas have been around for a long time, but just all of the little, like the fishing and all that, there's just so many, the like hostess clubs, like there's so many of these side things. So the fact that the pirate element is this game's namesake, I think it's like, it's gonna be like better than Black Flag. Like that's where my mind is right now.
Seriously, it looks like it. I mean, the sea combat stuff looks so capable. My biggest question about it is this, Huber. Okay, because I know one thing in the past, when I have dabbled with the series, the only thing that has sort of bothered me is like it always appears to be this like really fully open world thing, but in reality, I've like there's a lot of invisible walls sort of thing every sort of, right, somewhat. I mean, I don't know, like only in some of these like areas or whatever, you're sort of in areas at certain points, right?
Yeah, like you have your big cities. Sometimes like missions will kind of like lock you into a certain area within the city, but when you're free to roam around the city, I mean, it's pretty wide open.
Okay, so I'm just curious, how that, like if it will be really open, or if like the C part is what's open, but the other stuff is segmented or something. But because if it's like really a fully open kind of world thing, boy, will it be satisfying.
Yeah, some giant sea monsters.
Yeah, you saw the big shadow of that creature. It wasn't a kraken, it was something under there.
It's gonna get wild.
Yeah, and it's so funny. This is what I said to Huber when he showed me that naval combat thing. I was like, geez, it just makes you wonder, like, for how long... I mean, this game looks so capable and so perfect. It does look like a Black Flag sequel. Like, for how long SMB went through all its trials and tribulations. Like, this just shows... I don't know what the development time on this was, but they've come out with... I mean, how many Yakuzas did they come out with in just the time they're developing SMB? Like 6 or something? I mean, obviously not that many, but several.
I mean, it might be that many.
It might even be that. Honestly, it might be.
It might be that many or more.
Yeah, so I'm like, this just like clearly proves they could have just like literally started from the ground up and built a Black Flag 2 and then been like, instead of whatever. But dang it, I think this is gonna be like big hit. I mean,
oh yeah,
this is gonna be huge.
Because I also think, Huber, correct me if I'm wrong, but it does feel like a decent enough like jumping in point where it's like maybe you don't know a lot about Yakuza, but you can just play this game, right? Like there's gonna be ties obviously to the history, but I
think like Majima not remembering things really helps because he's kind of in the dark this time too. I think that helps new players, but then also just this new era we're on with Yakuza 7 and 8 and The Man Who Erased His Name, there's like less. It feels like a new phase or whatever.
Yeah.
So
where they're trying to make the stories more standalone,
more standalone,
way,
and like less catch up. If you're really into that, it's like just play 7 and 8, and Man Who Erased His Name maybe in this one. I'm always gonna be, say why rush it? Start with the old ones, but yeah, if you want to just jump in, I think it's totally acceptable for sure.
February 28th, just a week later, Huber. Monster Hunter Wilds.
Crazy.
Oof.
Good grief.
Hosanna, dude.
No wonder Assassin's Creed dipped out. Jeez.
Clear a
These
path.
these 2 months are bananas, dude.
Yeah. I mean, Yakuza and Monster Hunter, that is NPD City right there. Let's go.
Little something for everybody, yeah. God damn.
You guys have gotten to play, right?
Yeah, several times, yeah. Monster Hunter Wilds is so good. I mean, it's similar to the other stuff we're talking about. It's like, it's the stuff you like and more stuff you didn't know you liked, at least so far, Like, it feels really cool. I'm excited to play the hell out of this when it comes out.
I know, I'm just excited to, grind.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm excited to just build my arsenal, get my armors, let's go.
Yeah.
That first week is gonna be so hype, dude, when this comes out.
It's
Holy
gonna be so
crap.
sick.
Everyone's gonna be streaming this. Marvel Rivals, dude, check your rear view. Look out.
Erased.
Yeah, Monster Hunter Wilds time, dude. Let's go. Oh, I can't wait.
Damiani, I don't think you've gotten a chance to play yet. What are you thinking of it?
Not yet, but I mean, Worlds was good. Rise was pretty good. I mean, Monster Hunter playing with friends is always good. I mean, I'm going to put the most time into the series. I probably played it more back in the day than I do nowadays. But I mean, since Monster Hunter, which one was on one of the PSP ones that I started on, going into Tri, I think Tri and Monster Hunter 3 H Ultimate Edition or whatever they called it was the one I put the most time in, and playing with friends and stuff like that. So I played a bit of World, but this time I feel like I want to start at the beginning and not be too late to the party with this one.
Oh yeah, dude.
And yeah, definitely down.
Party up with us, Damiani.
It's gonna be insane.
So good.
Excellent. Also in February, but without a date just yet, they've been doing some beta tests and stuff as well. Midnight Murder Club.
Oh yeah.
Which is from Velen Studios, makers of Knockout City.
Loved Knockout City.
Oh yeah, that's
and Mario Kart Live.
Uh-oh.
That remote control Mario Kart game.
Which is actually pretty sick.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, and these.
no one ever bought it, I think.
Yeah, this is the current studio of Kartuk and Guhabala, who used to be the leads at Vicarious Visions for decades before they broke off and made this new studio. But this game is pretty cool looking, pretty interesting. It's 6 players set in a pitch black mansion. So that's why you guys were confusing with Blindfire, because there are actually some similarities between Midnight Murder Club and Blindfire. Because the only light sources are your flashlights and your guns. So if you're using your light to see your way through the mansion, you're also a target for another player.
Similarities in the lowercase r's.
Yeah.
It's for you, Isla.
Yeah.
But yeah, but also a lot of focus on getting the audio right, the positional audio, so that you can hear where things are coming from. Hear when there's a gunshot a couple rooms away in the mansion, or people, skulking around trying to be sneaky.
Dude, sneaking up behind someone and just shooting them dead in the back is crazy. That is
it is
crazy, dude. This game is gonna be nuts.
Also,
I'm watching a clip of it right now, and just they opens the door and just bang.
Lethal Company and stuff, they've got the proximity chat too, so that's positional as well. So if you will be able to hear people if they're talking. And there are vending machines. I don't know about everything that's in the vending machines. People that played the beta probably know a bit more about this, but a couple of examples I saw in there were there's a machine gun for one, Huber.
Whoa. OP, pay to win there.
Machine gun. There are night vision pills.
Ooh.
Give you some temporary night vision. Some like
sounds
cat
fun.
potion here.
Sounds fun as hell. Is everyone for themselves?
I'll get that in a second. And then there's like decoys. There's an inflatable mannequin holding a flashlight.
That rips.
Yeah. And yeah, the beta had 2 modes. They had a complete free-for-all, and then they had one where it's 3 teams of 2, where you're going around like looking for skulls. So you're like not actually trying to kill the other people so much as like you're trying to find the items in the mansion.
Great.
That sounds cool.
It's not early access coming, right? It's like full release?
I am not 100% sure. Because I know they've had the betas, but I don't know if this is considered an early access release or not. Let me see. And they say that there's supposed to be other modes and stuff too, but they haven't specified how many modes.
Okay.
It is early access. PS5 and Steam, early access.
Okay.
We've got more to come, but if you've been enjoying this show so far, please take a second to like and subscribe and ring that bell on YouTube. It helps us and it helps you stay connected. And now, a word from our sponsors.
Well, it's a new year, and maybe you've always wanted to start a business. So take it from someone like me, who has, with the other Easy Allies, sort of haphazardly started a business that we run, It is doable. You might have doubts, you might have questions, but I believe in you. You can do it. And you can definitely, if you're going to be selling something, you could use all the help you can get. And I would say Shopify knows what they're doing and could definitely support your back end way better than trying to do it yourself. It's 2025 and a new year means new opportunities. For a lot of you out there, I know you've been thinking about one thing over the holidays, and that's starting your own business. But you have so many questions. How do you get started? How do you come up with a brand? How do you sell stuff to people? What am I even going to sell? Take a deep breath. Shopify has got you. How do I know? Because I had the same questions when we started. And here's what I learned about Shopify. The best time to start your new business is right now. Shopify makes it simple to create your brand, open your business, and get your first sale. Get your store up and running easily with thousands of customizable templates, no coding or design skills required. All you need to do is drag and drop. Their powerful social media tools let you connect all your channels and create shoppable posts and help you sell everywhere people scroll. Shopify makes it easy to manage your growing business. They will help with the details like shipping, taxes, and payments from one single dashboard, allowing you to focus on the important stuff like growing your business. What happens if you don't act now? Will you regret it? What if someone beats you to the idea? Don't kick yourself when you hear this again in a year because you didn't do anything now. With Shopify, your first sale is closer than you think. Established in 2025 has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Sign up for your $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/allies, all lowercase. Go to shopify.com/allies to start selling with Shopify today. Shopify.com/allies.
And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you. Moving into March, going a little bit quicker because I gotta be on alert. So, for people that missed that during the cut, I might have to get on the road. We'll see. March 4th, 2 Point Museum. Isla, you did a preview about this just a couple weeks ago.
Check out my preview. It's their best setting I think ever. It's totally solid. This game, I'm very excited. But yeah, I did a preview coverage on it already, so check that video out. And to hear everything I thought about it.
Yeah. Humorous museum.
I like that. Totally solid.
Like Park Sim type.
It's totally solid.
Yeah. Incredible game.
Citizen Saber 2. It's totally solid.
Incredible. Yeah.
March 6th is Fragpunk, which a lot of people have been hyped on. None of us have really dug into yet.
It's like a Fraggles first-person shooter.
I was gonna say, because I had a hard time picking a fizzle. I just picked this one because like another 5v5 hero shooter in
Right.
an already saturated market.
I mean, it's a fair fizzle to pick, but
I'll throw my fizzle on there
done
too.
good
I don't
numbers
know.
on betas and stuff.
Yeah.
I always forget to do a fizzle.
I mean, like I guess like the visuals look kind of like unique, but I mean, this type of game, I think it needs more than visual flair to.
Well, then that's what it does have.
The cards. It's like the card system is a unique
that
thing.
one.
Yeah. That's like its big thing.
Yeah, so
like
some of the
cards.
cards that they had, the idea is that the cards change the rules of the match and your character and stuff like that, and your opponent characters even sometimes. So there's like, I saw like a long dash, smaller heads, bigger heads.
Oh yeah.
World flipping.
Prove me wrong. I'll be happy to be proven wrong. I want games to succeed.
Hilariously enough, there is a card called Emergency Evacuation.
Oh no.
Put your speed up when you're under fire from other people.
It feels like they stole Gabby's idea of double wide Wednesdays or whatever.
Double wide Wednesdays.
In Apex.
There's one called Clone Tech, which will allow you and a teammate to pick the same character, which is kind of a fun little gimmick for a hero shooter.
This seems fun. I don't know. Could be cool.
And then some like a basic one that's Dragon's Breath, which increases fire damage. Chain Lightning one.
Chain Lightning.
Chain Lightning.
Sign us up.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love Chain Lightning.
Gotta have chain lightning.
But I'm sure there's tons and tons of cards. And they have said that you will not need money to unlock any cards.
That's good.
So that's good. They're probably making money off of skins and stuff. Who knows? But
I
anyway,
saw like someone using a guitar to shoot people. It actually looked kind of visually fun.
nice. Also on the 6th, Split Fiction,
Ah.
Yeah.
the new co-op game from Hazelight, EA Originals,
right,
Joseph
right.
Ferris,
Yeah.
the people that made It Takes Two.
10 out of 10.
And-
Yeah. Looks
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, and they just had so much, kind of like we were talking about in the past couple of years with Astrobot and with like Mario Wonder, just like the number of like ideas that come at you and It Takes Two is just crazy. Just how many different types of gameplay they've shoved into that game.
Mm-hmm.
And Split Fiction really looks like it, it continues down that path. We're just like, you're just going to be doing some crazy thing in some new place just over and over and over again.
I miss A
And
Way
the
Out.
Yeah. Yeah, Way Out was great too. And even all the way back to Brothers, which was like not quite co-op, but like the idea of co-op.
They don't
playing
miss.
co-op by yourself. Yeah,
This game's gonna rule, dude. This is another Goaty watch. 100%.
it is. Yeah.
This is absolutely Goaty watch. Totally solid, Isla.
Yeah.
I'm obsessed with that.
And you've got one writer that's a fantasy writer, the other writer's a sci-fi writer, and all, these worlds going in and out, merging with them.
They
We
do
talked about
Collider.
raising dragons, and so like he's like, oh, you got like little baby dragons, and you got bigger dragons, and you got full-on dragons. It's like, yeah,
And then both realities enter the real world at
Whoa.
the very end for the last level.
yeah,
Guaranteed.
because it's
Spoilers.
some weird dude's device that they're stuck in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are just writers. That's right. Yeah.
Alan Wake skin when?
Also, March 6th, we're finally getting the Suikoden remasters.
Good God, yeah. I mean,
Finally.
hey, I hope these are good. Suikoden 1 and 2 are like historically some of my favorite games of all time. So, would love for these to be good. They're doing, they're adding sound effects and wind and, all kinds of stuff to make the world feel more alive. Kind of a 2D, 3D, 2D HD, whatever you call it. HD 2D, there it is. Yeah, Suikoden rips. If they don't reinvent the wheel and just make it look nicer, I think that this will be a nice one.
Hell yeah.
Totally solid.
Totally solid, dude. I hope this blows up.
Yeah, I mean, Suikoden deserves to be, I think,
Yeah.
wider known. Like,
It's
especially
always-
1 and 2. Like, everyone says 2 is the best one, and like because it is. But like 1 is so good,
Yeah.
and like I love the like hub world of 1,
Yeah.
like home base HQ.
It's always
Just
so
the best
interesting
vibes.
when these classics get re-released, some of them just come out in silence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then some of them, it's like, yo, like new people discovering it. new conversations.
Yeah, when we're talking about Tales of Graces, I was thinking about the Baten Kaitos remaster, and it's like, that just kind of came and went.
Yeah.
I think part of it was
Onimusha just kind of came and went.
Yeah. I think it did have issues as well, but I even that conversation, like, I didn't follow that closely. Like, I don't really know what happened with that game.
Yeah, and it's like Suikoden's always been kind of like a scrappy little underdog, you know. So I'm like,
right.
I'm nervous that this will come out and have like frame rate problems or some weird thing, but hopefully it's just solid and a good remaster. And like, I mean, the music alone is so solid, and like, Suikoden's great.
They did bring back some original people to help with it too.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, a lot of I think like the original like artists and stuff. Yeah, I hope it's good.
March 11th, speaking of vibes, Isla, Wanderstop,
Yeah.
which you saw at the Game Awards.
I got to play this during Game Awards. Real cool. I talked about it. One of those around there. This seems real solid. It's from the Stanley Parable guy, and he's sick of you asking. Like, he's just making a game, he claims, with a good story. And yeah, but I mean, like, I think the kind of twist is that it's a cozy game about PTSD and trauma. So, like, yeah, I think it'll be sick. Seems really cool. The art style's great. The like farming like method is cool. You like make shapes with the seeds, and then it makes different stuff. It's cool.
March 13th, one I've had my eye on a little bit, Bionic Bay.
Bionic Bay, like B-A-E or B-A-Y?
B-A-Y.
Okay. Oh. I was hoping it was the form.
Bionic before anyone else.
Great.
Yeah, so this is kind of a physics-based side-scrolling platformer with some crazy, like, just kind of world manipulation stuff. You're able to kind of slow down time, so, like, you know, when you've got like a lot of spinning gears or fans or whatever, you can kind of like put them into super slow-mo to like traverse across them. You can kind of like flip levels. You can like rotate them clockwise or whatever, and like walk on the wall. You know, like which way is up? I don't know anymore. And then there's also this like swap mechanic that they show, to where like you can have like something in the air, and then you can swap places with it and kind of get across a gap that way. And they also show like a lot of these things in combination, right? So that like they show you kind of like shoving all of these like objects and stuff off of a cliff, and then slowing down time, and then platforming across them.
Looks crazy, bud.
Yeah, the scale of things is really interesting. Because for a 2D side-scrolling kind of platformer, your player character is like kind of minuscule, and you have a really wide perspective. But the action's somewhat fast in some areas, so it's neat.
Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah, this looks neat.
Looks sick.
It's also got an online race mode.
Yo.
Oh, nice.
That's fun.
And they said they're going to be regularly updating it with like different challenges and leaderboards and stuff. And then this is being done by a developer in Finland that's handling the art and the design.
We love Finland.
Partnered with a pair of Taiwanese devs handling the technical side of things. So pretty small team. But it looks cool. 1 week later, March 20th, Huber. Finally getting that Assassin's Creed Shadows. Maybe. If they don't delay it again.
This is my regrettable fizzle.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Even after the new
I've had enough.
stuff?
I've had enough, dude. I've had enough. I've had enough. Let me quote the current state of Ubisoft, by the way. This is from Jeff Keighley 1 day ago. Ubisoft today confirmed that, quote, this is the company, Ubisoft, making this game right here. Leading advisors have been hired to look at transformational, strategic, and capitalistic options to extract the best value for stakeholders.
How do we get some of those advisors?
I'm just done. I'm done right now with this, dude. Like, I'm so nervous for this game. And I think I'm giving it the fizzle because I think an 8 out of 10 for this game is not enough. I don't think it is hyperbolic or an understatement to say that the entire trajectory of this studio hinges on this game. Like, Ubisoft is all in on this game, and if this game under-delivers in any way, like, I think it's going to be dire for that company. Truly, I think the stakes have never been higher for a Ubisoft release, like, ever. So I'm a little nervous. I don't know. I mean, I just, even a couple months ago at Gamescom when we saw it and they showed us these like really strange environmental vignettes.
Yeah, Sophia was like, because we had planned on doing like talking about it in the coverage, and she was like, they showed us grass.
Yeah.
She was, because she and you saw that, and she was like, they showed us wind in the grass. It was like nothing.
It was nothing.
It's like, what?
And I don't think a few months in the oven is going to do much for the game. You know, I know once again, like, I know a couple months in game development can make like a really kind of rough, buggy game like really solid, like just in a couple months. But I'm wondering if foundationally Shadows is going to be special or not.
Which is a bummer, because like conceptually, I was most excited about this one in a long time from any Assassin's Creed. Like, those two characters seem really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think some of the parkour stuff that they showed this week looks pretty good, and like they are moving some of that stuff forward. But yeah, I think it's gonna be really tricky to see, like, whether like the weird stale momentum, like, even if it's like you're saying here, but like even if the game's great, but the momentum has kind of been lost, and like people don't like grab it right away, or they wait and see, or they wait for the Ubisoft 30% off sale. You know, like, yeah, could be tricky.
It's
but then
in the
I think
air.
Valhalla was the biggest, hugest thing ever, right? And, like,
COVID game though, right?
Criticisms did not seem to matter for Valhalla.
I mean, things don't have to be good to print money. Like,
yeah.
How many Transformers movies and Pokemon games have proven that?
True. I mean, it is, samurais and ninjas and stuff, which is evergreen to a lot of people, and
there's
cool,
gonna be a lot of
fun.
people too here. Don't forget, like, social media is nothing in the market of an Assassin's Creed game. There'll be so many people that have no idea any of the stuff is going on. They see Assassin's Creed on the shelf and they see ninjas, and like, that's it.
Yeah.
100%.
That's all they need.
It's so personal to me. This is the Assassin's Creed game I've been wanting for over a decade, and AC fans will tell you that. Like, feudal Japan, this is the one we wanted. And it just feels like I've never been so de-hyped for an Assassin's Creed game before. It's always like a nice warm blanket. It's always a comfort. This is a franchise I'm fully caught up in that I just devour each time. And I'm extremely nervous about this one, not even being horrible, just being whatever.
Yeah.
Like, that is the biggest fear, is that this game comes out and it's just like, oh, cool, like, whatever. So it's nervous. I think Ubisoft is just way too big and poorly managed. I haven't, like, Prince of Persia, The Lost Crown was so sick because it was like a smaller team, and like, normalize smaller teams for making games, dude. You lose some of that intimacy when you're just too big and all these corporate hands are in there. It's my rant.
Yeah.
It's very personal.
Damiani. Also, March 20th is Xenoblade Chronicles X, completing the series on Switch.
Yep. Watch out, AC Shadows. Pick a bad day to go up against Xenoblade. I'm kidding. It's not even gonna be close. Don't worry. They dropped a new trailer for this too, which I have not played through the entirety of X, so keeping tabs on it and reading through people's watching and reading people's reactions. On top of the already new stuff they've announced, apparently it confirms and it's since been confirmed, by Nintendo themselves and their updates, that there's a new epilogue. They've been doing this with these definitive editions, putting out an extra, either standalone or something that's meant to be played after. And this one apparently is one of the most desired ones because it is addressing something that happens after the ending or climax of the game that was. We'll just stop there. And people are like, we need more. And it's like, they're getting it now, apparently. But like the new UI, I can already tell you like the bigger, like we've seen this, like the bigger text and fonts and stuff like that, because it was like, did not look very good on the Wii U, in my opinion. They're also adding like a character, this like, not like a Yoko Taro face looking character, like it's like a white like sphere head, and they have a new flying mech. They're called Skells, and apparently some of the Skells look like they have Ouroboros stuff in them, which is from Xenoblade 3. So like people are like losing their minds right now about this with the epilogue in this. They might be more definitively connecting this to the trilogy, because everyone thought maybe this was more standalone. This trailer showed like new tutorials and interfaces for mechanics that were viewed as kind of like a little too like maybe convoluted or overwhelming. So like they're definitely streamlining and adding a lot of good quality of life. And as we saw like on their own page, it says like online support still there for up to 32 players. So like the original online multiplayer support's like still intact. So it has a lot going for it. And it's probably very likely going to be like, right on like the heels of probably really, I don't know. I was going to say about like the Switch 2 and stuff. Like, I don't know if any of these games are getting a Switch 2 boost or anything like that, but like it already looks pretty good. But like for the Wii U, it was one of the more like bleeding edge tech games on the Wii U. Like this game clearly pushed the limitations, and it was the biggest thing is it's a seamless overworld. It's not like the Xenoblade trilogy where you have a massive zone, but to go to the next major area, it's not seamless. You will hit a border, you'll load in. This does not do that. So you have like a hub town. City, sorry, the new Neo Los Angeles, whatever it's called, and you just go like right out, and you're out in the world, and then you get the mechs, and like in this video, like it looked like falling and flying and using the mechs was way faster. So like they're maintaining a better frame rate during that as well, because these environments are like Xenoblade, they're massive. Anyway, looks good, quality of life and extra stuff being added looks great. So like I know this is one of the harder games to get into, but it seems like they're doing their dang best to like give you like please try this out. If you like the trilogy of Xenoblade games, you are probably going to like this one, and we're making it easier to enjoy that in case you heard bad things about it on Wii U. So looks really solid and great. And this is my sizzle, by the way. Sorry.
Nice.
Hell yeah, dude.
March 21st, another one that actually both of these are ones that I kind of just throw in there for the fans. Atelier Yumiya. That series still kicking, still putting out sequels. The Alchemist of Memories and the Envisioned Land. They tend to have those long subtitles on there. Also, Bleach Rebirth of Souls. Been a while since we had a Bleach game. And yeah, I mean, it looks like pretty like what you would expect. Sword fighting, crazy super moves, and all of that. Damiani, if you're trying to find a trailer, it's actually tricky to...
I was trying to remember the name of the one I thought I played back on PSP. It was Bleach Heat the Soul. Yeah,
Heat the Soul.
This was in the heyday though of like Bleach. This was like the Heat the Soul series. Yeah, this is when like OG Bleach the anime was going, and Bleach was everywhere. This is like mid to late 2000s. So yeah.
Was that on Adult Swim at some point?
I believe it was. Yeah,
I watched it through other means back in the day.
Yeah,
on European DVDs.
That's the thing. Yeah, this is like Bleach and Naruto. I think were some of the last ones where it was like, you just did not wait for this stuff to come to the U.S. Like it was, too much of a delay. March 25th, Tales of the Shire. Isla, you got to check that out and talk with Elise about it a while back.
This game seems cute. I don't know. Some people were saying they weren't super hyped on it when they played like a demo, but I think that they delayed it maybe, or like they're still working on it. So What I played seemed cute as hell and like very book accurate. Like there are characters that are like characters from Lord of the Rings' parents, stuff like that, or The Hobbit. Right. I forget the order of where it goes in the series, but yeah, it seems very cozy.
Yeah, cooking delicious meals for people.
Yeah, can't go wrong.
Like chopping up everything, getting it all ready, and
that's fun.
Yeah. Just the Shire is just the perfect setting for something like that.
Oh, for sure, yeah. And the waypoint system being little birds is just perfect.
Yeah. Well, and it also too that it's like, you know, it's Weta, you know, and it just kind of has that little DNA going through there, even though obviously different people, but they're all family there. March 27th, Atomfall, which I got to check out when you guys were at Gamescom.
Oh,
Drew, I don't know if you remember this. This is from Rebellion, same guys that do Sniper Elite. But this is like, it's like northern Britain, like after like some nuclear disaster or something. I forget exactly. It's related to a thing that like really could have gone wrong, and so it's got this interesting mix of like, in some ways it's got like a little bit of BioShock vibes, in some ways it's got some Stalker vibes, but then it's also, you know, with like the accents,
got a little bit of Fallout in there.
Yeah,
like the robot thing.
Yeah, like but like it also has like a little bit of that, you know, that British humor and stuff going through there. But like Stalker, it's like it's one of those games where it's like the demo is pretty demanding on like you not just like trying to take out every single dude. You're very like limited on bullets and resources and stuff at the jump, right? And it's like, okay, you can go in there and like try to knock out a guy in a base, but then there's like 15 other guys, and what are you going to do about them?
A game for patient thinkers.
Yeah. But it's just got a nice feel to it. It looks really nice, like, you know, like Stalker, like, you know, you kind of have like that kind of brown wintry feel, whereas like this, it's a little bit more, you know, you've got the gray stone and you've got kind of like the lush green grasses and stuff like that.
Green grass? Paul Greengrass?
And the iconic red phone booths, where there's like some mystery person calling you out there. So that's kind of where like the BioShock vibe is, that phone booth thing to me. But yeah, I liked what I played. And we will see.
It looks hardcore as hell.
Factions and cults and all of that.
Yeah. Cults, you say?
Weirdo guys with masks for sure.
Top 5 video game weapons of all time: bolt action rifles.
Oh my god, yeah, M1 Garand, dude. Let's go.
And the last one for our winter game preview, March 27th, the first Berserker Kazan.
Oh my god,
the Dungeon
dude.
and Fighter series that none of us have ever played before, but we're still hyped about this game.
The first of 7 billion Ben Starr games of 2025. Actually, I think it's like the third time he's come up in this. Dude, this game's sick as shit.
This game is sick.
Huber and I got to play it. I mean, I really hope it maintains the level of quality and like tightness and precision that we got to play, because like, the timing, the speed, it was perfect.
Yeah.
I played with dual axes. It felt like snappy, heavier Blades of Mercy. It was great.
Yeah. Cool vibe.
Yeah.
Like story, like immediately has stakes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you start in like, it's, what movie is that? It's like The Last Witchfinder, or one of those where you're like, they're like on a snowy mountain path and you're locked in a like rickety like jail carriage.
So sick.
And then it falls and you get out, you know. Crazy.
Yeah. Seems really, really cool.
Also this week, there's actually quite a few significant things here, but we gotta speed through them. But Xbox Developer Direct is returning on January 23rd, like 10 a.m. And if you don't remember the last couple ones that they've had of these, they tend to have like some pretty good deep dives on a game, and then usually like some extra surprise. So this time we've got South of Midnight, which I'm really looking forward to.
Yes.
I don't think we have a release date on that yet, so maybe we'll get a release date. Player Obscure Expedition 33.
That looks
talking
cool.
about Ben Starr games.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he's in that too. Pretty interesting RPG. Doom: The Dark Ages, Huber.
Hey,
It is time.
Goaty.
Doom
10
is
out of
coming.
10.
Doom is coming up.
Can't wait. Go play the
And yeah.
Ancient Gods. I know none of you did. Go do it.
You're right.
Go do it, chat.
And yeah, there's one more question mark on that thumbnail, so we don't know what's coming up next.
The new Xbox Switch 2.
Actually, one of my potential theories, but I don't know if they would deem it big enough. They might. Damiani is Rebirth. Because Rebirth is coming out pre-C right around then, and if they're in that Xbox Direct, it could make sense.
Yeah, maybe.
Release date.
It could be there too, yeah.
Totally
could.
Totally solid prediction.
Totally solid.
Totally solid.
We got the nominees for the DICE Awards this week, which is going to be held in Vegas, second week of February.
That's fun.
Astrobot, Helldivers 2, and Indiana Jones led with 6 nominations each.
Good games.
Balatro and Hellblade 2 each got 5 nominations.
Hellblade 2 really
Wow.
getting the award recognition.
Yeah, critically acclaimed.
Surprisingly.
It's like Amelia Perez, where the awards people love it and nobody else does.
Great analogy.
And then 4 nominations each for 1000 Times Resist,
Huh?
Animal Well, and Batman Arkham Shadow.
Oh, wow. Okay. A little VR in there.
Yeah. And then their Game of the Year nominees are Astrobot, Balatro, Black Myth Wukong, Helldivers 2, and Indiana Jones.
Stellar Blade is so much better than Wukong. I'm going to die on that
And-
fucking hill.
Absolute travesty, Rebirth not nominated for music, but also they snubbed Nier Automata back in the day too, so whatever.
Yeah. CES has been this week as well, so there have been a lot of announcements from theirs. Damiani, you want to catch us up on the 50 series from NVIDIA?
Oh, January 30th, 5080, 5090 GPUs from NVIDIA, the Blackwell's architecture consumer versions drop. MSRP, $999 for the 5080.
$999 US dollars.
$1,999 for the 5090.
Wait. Wait.
Yes.
Wait.
What?
A $2,000 graphics card?
Yeah, the previous one was what,
keys, you know.
1600.
Is this a new record?
The 4090 was like 1600 MSRP, but you couldn't find it for that.
This is
price.
the highest
This is the
MSRP.
highest
This is
ever?
the Founders Edition. Like the real cards you're going to actually be able to get because it's very very hard to get a Founders Edition.
Got it.
Are going to be more than that. So like
More
add a few-
than 2,000.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And they can the graphics card is so powerful it can like yassify a woman. Pretty good. Pretty good stuff.
Can it?
5070.
Damiani, tell Huber about the power requirements too.
Oh my god, yeah.
No, I mean, lot of power. They were suggesting like at least 1,000-watt PSU for the 5090, maybe like more, and people are like, "What?" Yeah,
Damiani's neighbors.
Can
are
it
gonna be
run
like,
Crisis?
I mean, it probably can run Crisis and Cyberpunk at the same time. The
Can it run
5090.
Crackdown 3?
It runs
Remember
Crisis
Crackdown?
1, 2, and 3
I think the more
at the same time.
Yeah, they're still waiting for official benchmarks. Like reviewers don't have it in hand, so we don't like. All we have is what Nvidia said, and
Right.
they're saying what they want to say.
They're a pack of liars.
Gotta wait for the actual the stuff that come out, the benchmarks and reviews. But the other thing, the 5070 and 5070 Ti will be out in February, and they're priced a little bit better. It's like $749 and $549 or $599. So those are a little bit more easy. So especially Huber, if you're doing like not 4K. Like you could probably do like a 5070 or 5070 Ti for people who just want like 1440p.
1440p is the way, dude.
5080 or 50, like
Straight
I would say,
up.
like 50.
2K is the fucking way.
5090 would probably be way overkill if you're only playing in 1440p. So
I honestly think games look better in 2K, like moving and stuff, like motion and whatnot. Like, dude, you got me so hyped on 2K, Damiani.
AMD also announced cards, but they didn't say a lot about them. So like people are just assuming they're giving up on like the enthusiast market and just targeting like the low end entry point, which also Intel was doing too with their new Arc cards that just came out that apparently are selling out and doing pretty well. So seems like there's a way more competition at the low end now. But like if you want those premium high end ones, Nvidia is your only answer apparently right now. So. And we'll see how those prices really shake out when other.
I mean, when the high end is over $1,000, then there's plenty of market to be had.
It's definitely Oh, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, for sure.
Crazy.
Also at CES,
Rebirth and the IMAX on that thing, dude.
Also at CES, Damiani, we had some very interesting Switch 2 developments.
Yeah, like we're just at a point where like. People, anyone not named Nintendo is apparently just like revealing the Switch 2 to everybody. Like there was a third-party manufacturer for accessories that had a booth there where they just had like a like they said like here is the Switch 2. Like we have access to it.
It's like a 3D
it's not functional,
Switch 2,
but like you can hold in your hands with the new Joy-Cons and like here you go. And like here's our accessories for it. They can pre-order or you're getting ready to pre-order. GameStop already has like the new Micro Express SD in their system and other accessories for it. I mean everything is calling it the Switch 2, so it's probably officially called Switch 2.
Are the lawsuits going to come down the pipe here,
but like,
Damiani?
let's be honest, like it's literally just going to be a more powerful Switch, but and so like form factor is not going to be that radically different, honestly. So I honestly think like this means jack to Nintendo. They don't care. They're like, who cares if you see mock-ups of the system? When we reveal it, you're all going to tune in. You're going to be like going crazy about it. And you want to see those games. You want to see the damn games. And you want to see like what other features like on an OS level. Like, are we bringing back Miiverse? Are we bringing back Street Pass? Are we doing like themes again? Like any of that stuff
Trophies.
is like, what are people going to get? Yeah. Achievements. Like that stuff is going to make people lose their shit.
Music for the eShop.
Exactly. That's the stuff that Nintendo sends the ninjas out for, not this stuff. They're like, ooh, it's just a bigger Switch, bigger than the Switch. Ooh, it's got Joy-Cons that use magnets now. Ooh, like they're like, I would be
magnets.
Like, who cares? It's magnetized or something. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Apple connectors. You remember those?
Yeah, the MagSafe charger.
Yeah.
I got one right here.
Yeah, I think it works similar.
That's not strong enough.
Well, we'll see.
Do you guys think that the Joy-Cons lived up to their potential?
No.
After 1-2 Switch. Remember
I think that was the only game that used them in that.
There were
and that toilet paper game
and stuff like but yeah, they definitely had features that were not needed. Like
I know that there are other games. Labo, yes.
The infrared thing. Yeah, it was kind of funny.
It didn't reignite the Wii remote heyday. Ring Fit was pretty chill though. Yeah.
Ring Fit, yeah, was cool.
Huge.
Ring Fit was cool.
Yeah. But like back in the day, it was like every game was like, oh,
right,
Wii remote. Oh, This is just like, hey, I can take the Switch around.
Yeah.
And my Joy-Con broke, so I have to buy a new one.
I think it was one of those things where it was like, yeah, just every once in a while you would get a game with motion controls, and it's like if you wanted to play with motion controls, cool. If you don't, cool.
Yeah.
Except for like Switch Sports and stuff like that.
Wario, where?
Oh yeah, Wario was great.
Where you had to shake the fizz.
Damiani, I think it's really crazy to live in 2025 and have the chance to be extremely surprised by a game reveal. So like, because like we know they're making a Mario, but it's just wild when like it's not acknowledged. There's no leaks.
Right.
Not even like a whisper or a hint, and then just like Switch 2 announcement, boom, brand new Mario. It's like crazy when that happens. I love it. I live for those moments, dude. Mm-hmm. Gotta see that plumber.
Gotta see him.
Steam announced that SteamOS is going to roll out to more devices, starting with the Lenovo Legion Go.
Oh.
Shout out Lenovo.
So that's going to be interesting. And then Sony announced several different adaptations, including anime based on Ghost of Tsushima Legends.
Fuck yeah, dude, that's sick.
Horizon Zero Dawn film, a Helldivers film,
Ooh.
and season 2 of The Last of Us is going to start in April.
Yes. Which I think I think there's something up with that.
Yeah.
Last of Us season 2.
Really?
Yeah, like I feel like there's.
The teaser was cagey, dude.
Yeah. I feel like there's just something that they're not telling us here.
Like they're gonna split the script or something. Like they're not gonna go beat for beat on this one.
Yeah, or like a lot more Joel, a lot more like in between maybe.
Not more Joel, because there was a thing where, without getting specific, there was a thing where somebody asked Pedro, like, hey, how did you balance your shooting schedules with this and Last of Us Season 2? He was like, we made it work. It's like, because he's, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's going to be something. Something's up.
Yeah.
In other movie news, the Sonic the Hedgehog franchise, meaning all 3 movies, has now surpassed $1 billion at the box office.
Sick.
So
Sick. It took three
Took
movies
three?
to
Yeah.
pass $1 billion.
Dude,
Massive
Cameron
failure.
is chuckling.
What is bigger now than the Sonic game series total money or the Sonic film trilogy?
I think the films have probably been bigger for a minute.
Sonic is not a game series anymore. You gotta call it a film series.
Jeez.
It's crazy to think that games are that small, that like a famous beloved like mascot is not even that big.
It's that's the funny thing though. It's some of those mascots that are like some of the smaller things.
Yeah.
You know, like when we talk about Mega Man and Castlevania, it's like it's only sold how many?
Yeah.
Right.
Dude. 3 Sonic movies making $1 billion? That's fucking insane.
Yeah.
I think you guys are like undervaluing this. That is crazy.
But like every Minions movie alone makes like
That's
1.8
Minions.
billion.
This is
No, I'm just saying. It depends on what you're
Mario
comparing it
movies,
to.
When they make more of them, it'll be like
Mario made a bill on its one movie, didn't
they'll
it?
do
like Mario killed Sonic. Like
Yeah.
that's why
Mario
Sega
crossed
went
Sonic.
bye-bye. So like Mario is so much bigger. The fact that Sonic could pull in $1 billion even across 3 movies, dude, it fucking blows me away, especially when we saw how shitty Sonic first looked. Remember before the redesign?
Right.
Like, and video game movies too, not making that much money. Obviously, there's a couple outliers like Resident Evil and stuff, but like, wow, dude, $1 billion, and like getting progressively better as the movies have gone on to. Like Sonic 3 is the best one by far. It's just crazy to me.
Yeah, that's definitely true. They are progressively getting better for sure.
Wild. Sonic, dude.
We are seeing some weird more chinks in the NetEase growth cycle. Remember how like the past couple of years were like, hey, look at NetEase. They're starting the studio over here in Austin. They're starting that studio in Canada. They bought Quantic Dream. They got Nagoshi to do a studio. And now stuff is starting to get a little rocky. So obviously we had the weird like criminal insider trading nonsense last year or whatever that was. But now this week, and we also lost the Visions of Mana developer. Remember, that was a NetEase studio that like right when the game shipped, they're like, yep, they're shutting down. What? But now this week we learned that Jar of Sparks, which was founded in 2022 by Halo veteran Jerry Hook, is pausing development on their debut title due to a lack of funding. So it's just NetEase is just out now. So they're looking for somebody new to back them. And it sounds like they aren't fully shutting down at the moment, but they just told all their employees, is like, hey, start looking for work. Yeah. So I don't know. It's interesting. I think it's maybe similar to Embracer, where they kind of overextended themselves.
Aggressive expansion.
Yeah, and with Embracer, it just kind of collapsed in on itself. Whereas I think like with NetEase, it just like now they're like looking back and they're like, yeah, maybe not that one, maybe not this one.
It insists upon itself.
Yeah. And then finally, according to Jason Schreier over at Bloomberg, the staff that left Annapurna are forming a new label, unnamed as of the moment, that will be taking over Private Division's portfolio, including Tales of the Shire, Kerbal, and the upcoming Game Freak game. The new company is being funded by Haveli Investments, which is a private equity firm in Austin. And unfortunately, this does mean that some of the 20 remaining Private Division staff are going to be laid off as a result. So we were trying to figure out what was going on there. All those people left Annapurna, and this is it. They're spinning up. They've got a portfolio now because Take-Two didn't want Private Division anymore, and so we'll see what happens. We'll see when they have an actual announcement. But pretty wild.
10 portfolios.
What's that?
Top 10 portfolios.
Right. Okay, it is time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
Oh, what a landing. That was nice.
Perfect.
Oh, from my Latin lover.
Wow.
Hey, allies. Something has been on my mind for a year now. The Lost Bit. In episode 100, Kyle wanted to do a rap with everyone, but you all said no. Blood even remarked...
I don't recall saying
I
no.
didn't say no.
He probably claimed we all said no.
Yeah, what?
Well, we might not have all been on there. Remember, we rotated panel at that point.
Yeah.
But I was there, apparently. I have one rap in me a year, I am quoted as saying.
I remember you saying that.
You all proceeded to sit in silence as Kyle imagined a rap for himself. Also, considering that happened, I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle wrote me saying I have one rap in me a year and just had me say it. Anyways, in episode 200, once again, you all sat in silence as Kyle envisioned another rap. Then in episode 300, Brandon Jones suggested a rap only to be shot down and left to imagine it for himself. But episode 400 came and went with no silence or imaginary rap. Now I fear that Blood's one rap a year has accumulated over time and he may be on the verge of unleashing a devastatingly epic display of bars that could shake the very foundation of the Allies. So I ask you this. What became of the bit? Did it go the way of Concord, canceled before it had a chance to shine? Or is he secretly cooking up something that has taken 57 episodes to perfect?
I wouldn't be surprised if Blood suddenly just subjected us all to a rap. For sure.
To an
Fucking
album.
Meat Boy. That was my favorite.
Yeah, I'm talking meat, boy.
Yeah, it's a fun question with a very like pedestrian answer. The 400 managed to land on Game Awards 2023.
That's right, yeah.
And so Brandon and Kyle were there. They had the opportunity to rap. They did not take it. So I don't know. I was not there. So it's not on me to
Neither was I, actually, yeah.
hindsight. Yeah. Yeah, no rap coming. No need to make up for it. Not every bit has to be a stake in the ground tradition.
Eternal bits. Yeah.
Right.
Don't be mad that it's over. Be happy that it happened. You know.
Yeah. Every host is gonna do their own things, put their own spins on things. So.
Yep,
Thank you for posting
Ask about
that,
it next
Red Sky.
year, though, for sure.
What was that?
Red Sky posted your nutrition rap.
No.
That's the remix that somebody did.
Always got something there. Good job, Red Sky. From Rahul Masal. Hi, allies. Inspired by last week's question about Switch 2 launch predictions, I have a list of games/features. Do you think they will end up on the Switch 2 whether at launch, eventually, or not at all.
Oh, nice.
Great.
So yeah, those are your options. Launch, later, never.
Okay.
First up, GTA 5.
Yeah, I think so.
Launch.
Launch later or never? I think later.
I think they're going to have like 40 games at launch.
Huber's thinking.
I'll say later.
Later.
I'll say later.
Netflix. A staple of the Wii, never on Switch.
Probably never.
Never.
They didn't do it on Switch, man. I feel like
Yeah, they don't want
Netflix
to.
like offers them a lot of money to like please put on there. Never. Yeah.
Never, ever.
I don't see Netflix doing that either because they don't need to do that.
Yeah.
Alan Wake 2.
Oh,
Launch.
Later.
I'll
I
say
think
later.
Yeah.
And launch, baby.
Actually, I don't know. Huber I think launch too. That's one of those 40 games. That's
That game's been cooking, dude. That game's ready to go,
There's
man.
no
That thing.
reason to wait on that.
Did they
Yeah.
say 40 games at launch, or is that speculative?
no,
just
they've
something
not
else.
said
They haven't
anything
said
about
anything.
games.
I was gonna
at
say, like,
launch.
who the fuck
That's what
said
I'm
that?
predicting.
Yeah, I feel like they just do like an Alan Wake or collection or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that could be 1 and 2. That'd be great.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Super
dude, launch.
Mario 3D All Stars.
The one that's locked in the vault.
Yeah, the one that came out for like a year or a couple months.
Nintendo's
or
gonna
whatever it
forget about it.
Oh.
Never.
Never.
Yeah, no.
Never. I agree. Never.
I think they'll make a new thing.
They'll do
Like,
another
it's
scam.
perma-locked
They'll-
in the
yeah,
vault.
so evil.
They'll pull another scam, dude.
Another scam.
Death Stranding Director's Cut.
Oh.
The first one?
Yep.
Never. I'm gonna say never.
That one I feel like is probably a never.
I think it could show up.
I think it could happen,
Yeah, I'd say later, but
but I wouldn't say launch. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
later.
You think it would sell on this? What would be the point of putting
Eh.
it? I don't know. I don't think it would sell enough on the Switch.
I think if there's if it's easy enough that they can just like
pop it on there.
yeah, just like print it out, chuck it on the eShop, they would do it.
That's true.
Kojima likes Nintendo.
Yeah.
Does he?
And you could add some cool little
Oh yeah, remember the
Gimmicks in
Easter eggs
there.
in Twin Snakes?
yeah, dude, you could add something so cool like Sam Porter Bridges like playing a Switch in the
Oh
room or
yeah.
whatever
I
and stuff.
guarantee that would be in there.
Like, like remember like when you have the whatever the energy drinks or stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
monster
monsters.
that they took out after a while.
Yeah, like what if they had like you just like a little pile of mushrooms or something? Like Sam pops a mushroom.
I've been thinking it's not a cool prediction.
Ooh, that would actually be super fun. To like have like you're running across and then like you could pop a mushroom and like
Get
it
big?
actually gets really
Oh
big.
yeah.
That would be amazing.
That would
It's all
break
in your
half
head
the
'cause they're
game.
psychedelic.
Oh yeah.
It's not a cool prediction, but I really think Death Stranding 2 is gonna have like 70 celebrities in it.
Oh for sure.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already shown like 12.
like 70 that like
Yeah.
everyone that's ever come to Kojima Studios is gonna be in
Yeah,
the game.
yeah. Keely's gonna be in it for sure.
Oh yeah.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Launch.
On Switch too?
Yeah.
Yeah, launch.
Launch.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
100%.
right away.
I think launch or later. Yeah,
Yeah. Later, I would
probably
say.
Lock
later.
it in.
I feel like I'm just gonna be honest. I feel like launch is gonna be kept pretty clean.
It's
The
gonna be
launch,
first party, yeah.
Yeah. I don't think third parties want to be there right away because they're just gonna get blown up by whatever Nintendo drops as their first party game.
When I say launch, just know that I mean within a couple weeks. Or like
That's
a month.
later. I think the question
Oh,
means
I
the
was
The
gonna
first
day.
month for
later,
me
like-
is launch. The first month.
Yeah,
No.
that's what I'm thinking. Like the first.
They didn't
few
say
weeks.
launch window.
I do think that's
That's not
fair,
day
'cause I think
one
later
launch.
could be way later.
I think
Yeah.
later is
Later's
generally
like-
later. Yeah.
Later's
Yeah.
like more than 3 months or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do think that I think for stuff like ports, I don't think that they're going to be as precious on. Like, I think something like Baldur's
Yeah.
Gate 3, I do think I could see that at launch.
Definitely.
Like, I don't think they're going to be as worried about being
Launch
buried
window,
as,
sure.
as
launch window.
like putting out a new third-party game. I think that's what they're going to be more worried about. Unless it's like a simultaneous release, right? Like, if Assassin's Creed Shadows is out, you know, and same day as a Switch 2, then maybe it'll be on Switch 2 on launch.
Red Hot Chili Peppers over here.
Assassin's Creed Shadows is a very good guess to be on Switch 2 for sure.
Oh, yeah.
It'd be a big one.
What about Ghost of Tsushima?
Later.
Oh, wow. I don't think so. I don't think so.
Dude, this 2025 is going to be the era of like, let's just spread everything around, dude. Like, I saw today that Gears of War is coming to PlayStation potentially. Like,
that'd be crazy.
The walls have been taken down. Games are way too
down that many walls yet.
Games are.
They did Horizon, but I don't see them doing.
They're inching out there, dude. They're inching out. Like, remember when a Mario game on mobile was like the craziest thing of all time? Like, we're getting there. Games are just too expensive to be locked down anywhere. Like, you want them on every system. You're making a game, you want every single person to play it.
But Sony and Nintendo are winning the console wars. They're the only ones still playing, but they're the ones in there.
Yeah. There's a lot of money left on the table, you know?
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Last one. Similar discussion, different perspective. Starfield.
Oh, God. I mean, they're going to put all kinds of shovelware on the eShop, so, yeah.
Yeah, this isn't even, I swear this is not a troll. Like, does anyone care enough?
That's what I was wondering.
To do, like, does anybody care at, like, Bethesda or Nintendo? And like, is there enough? Like, let's do that.
Do they still remember that game is real?
They did do Skyrim.
Yeah, 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
But Skyrim was a cultural juggernaut,
Phenomenon.
and Starfield kind of is just a thing.
Emphasis on the nod.
Yeah,
First.
Yeah, this one I'm not too sure about.
Probably they'll crap it on there, though.
What I would say, sort of tangentially related, I would not at all be surprised to see Indiana Jones on there because Machine Games.
Oh, yeah.
And
for
Doom
sure.
and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And Disney would want it there, especially now that it's like doing really well, getting all these awards. It's like, I'm sure there's going to be somebody like, if you can put this on Switch 2, put it on Switch 2. Yeah.
My thing is like, if it's out right now and it runs on Steam Deck, there's probably a real great shot that it'll go on the Switch 2.
Yeah.
That's a good perspective.
Yeah.
Let's play a game.
Oh, boop, boop, boop. Boop, boop, boop. He probably has this file.
Yeah, I got this one.
No lights though. From Brandon K. Gann. Hello everyone. Today I submit a little quiz for you to see how well you know some of the most noteworthy and or iconic weapons that require you to aim and pull the trigger to ever grace video games. I call it, what's that weapon?
Yikes.
All right, here we go.
Simple task. I'll list out what the weapon does.
No time to explain.
And your job is to say either the game or series that it's in or the actual name of the weapon. Bonus points if you do both.
All right.
So we'll get a description, and then you say either the name of the weapon or the game, or if you got both, you got both. First one. An overly large hand with spoken sound effects.
Oh, wait.
It's not the Dead Space finger gun, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Jeez.
okay.
Do you know the
Like
actual
No
name?
More Heroes or something.
The foam finger?
Yeah. I forget the name of it.
Very close. Foam finger hand cannon.
Nice.
An assault rifle that fires nails as ammo.
Dude, the
nail
fucking
gun.
nail gun from Quake?
Quake, yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Got it.
Is it just
10 out of
called the
10.
nail gun?
It's just called a nail gun.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dude, I love Quake.
Yeah.
A head seeking homing missile that
Cerebral
extracts
bore.
enemies' brains.
Oh,
What
yes.
Turok Rage
2.
Wars.
Wait.
There you go. Huber, you got it better than the question writer because he just put Turok.
Rage Wars,
Whoa.
Rage Wars was the first one it had it in? No.
baby. I am 99%, but it might be 2.
I never knew that. I could have sworn it's 2. I guarantee it's 2.
I
I
thought it was
clearly
Cerebral
remember.
bore.
I clearly remember the first time I ever saw that weapon. Because Rage Wars was after 2, right?
It is 2. It's 2. Okay, you're right.
Okay, cool.
It is 2. Okay.
Yeah.
The thing is, I didn't really play Rage Wars much, so I was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
All we needed was Turok, though.
They did a Turok speedrun at AGDQ.
Got it. I think I just remember it so fondly in Rage Wars, Don,
Yeah.
because it was OP as hell. You would just
Oh, God, it
like,
must have been fun.
that's it. You would just freaking brain people, dude.
Trolling, yeah, trolling the hell out of people with that. Ah, what a weapon. Bring it back. They
Bring it
didn't
back.
tease it, huh? They didn't tease it.
No tease.
All right, this is
That
a
would
long
have won
description.
everyone over. Go ahead.
So stick with me. A double-barreled shotgun
Doom
that
Eternal.
fires
Is it?
that fires a grappling hook which simultaneously pulls you towards your target while alighting enemies on fire spewing
Eternal.
armor pickups.
You were.
Yeah, super shotgun with the meat hook.
The best. The
That was
best.
so good.
The absolute best. Dude,
A
just,
laser
oh my, that weapon is,
Yeah.
it's so good. Unbelievable. What a master class in design.
a laser targeting device that calls down
The
a
Hammer
hot
of Dawn.
beam-
Or Dawn.
Here's a war.
Here's a war.
Give it to Donnie.
I thought it might be the laptop gun from
Or
whatever.
Resident Evil 5.
Yeah.
a multi-firing rocket launcher that plays classical music.
Ooh.
Sounds like a serious
Oh,
Sam
Devil May
thing.
Cry, right?
Devil May Cry. Yeah, I was gonna say Devil May
Oh.
Cry. Is that,
No.
no?
I was going to say, is it Borderlands?
Or like Bayonetta.
Oh, Borderlands?
I
No.
don't know. Yeah, if it's not one of those two, dang.
Oh, shit. I saw it in chat, maybe. But
Minimize
Twisted
chat.
Metal?
No.
Oh.
Ratchet and Clank.
There you go.
Nice.
Oh.
The Rhino, which is short
Oh,
for
it is the
Rip Ya a New
Rhino. Of
One.
course. Of course.
Wait, which one was that? I don't remember that. Wait, which one is that?
I'm hiding you.
Multi-firing rocket launcher
Yep.
that plays classical music. The
Oh.
Rhino.
It gets hard, dude, because the rhinos are like usually different.
Yeah.
An assault rifle that can fire both a shield and highlight.
Resistance.
Wow, that's good.
And
Dang.
that's the the auger.
The auger.
Yes.
God damn, Huber. Give somebody else a shot.
Through walls.
Very nicely done.
That gun
Not
is
that-
so
Not
good.
that we
That-
would have gotten that one.
oh, that gun
No.
carries you through the campaign. So good.
A heavy weapon that fires a large sphere of plasma that immediately obliterates all
The
enemies.
BFG?
Yep.
Nice.
Doom?
Oh, very
Hell
nice.
yeah.
Very nice.
BFG 9000, baby.
So sick.
Big fucking gun.
So sick. In Doom, was it Doom 2016? Not Eternal, I think 2016. The like planet destroying BFG. It's like insane.
Was the BFG in Doom 2 first? Or it was in Doom 1, right? I don't remember.
I think
Might have
it was
been
in one.
2. Was
I
it
think one
I
has
don't-
it.
yeah,
I
I,
think it's in
can't
one.
remember.
One does.
Been
I think
100
one's got
years.
it. Yeah. 2 I know added the chainsaw
Yeah.
and the double barrel.
BFG
Yeah, and the
9000
other
first
shotgun.
appeared in the original Doom game.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. All right.
In the third map of Episode 3, Inferno,
Sick.
Yeah, hell yeah.
called Pandemonium.
A one-handed, infinite ammo energy weapon with the power of a quadrupedal super tank.
Was it like
At first, I was
Halo?
like the director's handgun, but no.
Don, what did you say?
I'm gonna say Halo.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh,
Do you know what
what?
it is?
I don't know. I don't know the name of the gun. The gun though.
Is it the pistol thing?
No.
I thought it was like a Metal
Look.
Gear Solid thing.
It's not the like the needle.
Or the sword?
Well,
Well, it's a gun.
infinite-
It has to be a
Oh.
gun.
Yeah, power of a quadrupedal super tank. That should help.
Is it a gun you take off of one of the tanks? Super gun, tank gun, super quadrupedal tank gun.
It's the scarab gun. from Halo 2.
Scarab gun. Oh, Scarab gun.
Nice.
There you go.
Last one. An infinite ammo energy weapon that targets a specific infection for a one-hit kill.
Oh, the thing from Resident Evil 4?
Or yeah.
Resident Evil 4 is correct.
Where you
Remember
shoot,
the name?
you shoot the not the molded, but the
Parasites.
the parasites. Yeah,
No,
what's it called though?
It's not.
Wait, it's the Piano 3,
bonus
the
gun,
secret one. The Piano 3, because of Mikami.
You just
Piano
charge
3.
it.
Oh.
Shoot. Yeah, right. What's
Yeah.
it called though? Oh my gosh. Why
Piano
didn't I know
3.
this? Is it just called
Not
the Piano
quite.
3?
You're kind of close, but not quite.
That. Oh.
It is the PRL.
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 Damn.
Nice.
Yeah, that thing is great.
Yeah.
Dashing and daring, courageous and caring, faithful and friendly with stories to share. All through the forest they sing out in chorus, marching along as their song fills the air. Gummy bears, bouncing here and there and everywhere. High adventure that's beyond compare. They are the Gummy Wars.
Or Wars.
Who's first?
Sure.
Rain or snow?
Oh well, I mean, right now I got snow, so I'm surrounded by lots of snow right now. So as long as it's not ice, because if it's raining and it's cold and becomes ice, that sucks. Snow is fun. Snow is good. I like snow.
Going snow.
Who's next?
I'll be next.
Alien or Predator?
Oh my gosh.
That's a good one.
Fun one.
That's a tough one, but I think I would go Predator. And the reason is because just thinking of character now as characters, not like the actual I'm not comparing film franchises or anything like that. I'm just comparing the characters and who they are, like especially for games and stuff. Alien's fun, but Predator's so versatile. I think I'd rather play as a Predator than an Alien. And yeah, more appealing for both sides. As an enemy too, Predator, just more formidable. I go Predator.
Next.
I'll go.
Avatar or Avatar?
Okay. So, personally, I'm a huge fan of Avatar: The Last Airbender, and less of a fan of James Cameron's seminal masterpiece, Avatar. I think that the militaristic and American nuclear family propaganda is a little hot on Avatar. But Avatar: The Last Airbender, I think, is a staggering work of genius and is like transcends genre, and the storytelling is truly incredible. The characters are moving and they change and grow in ways you don't expect. It inspired seedlings in no small way. Yeah. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Hubert.
Yep.
Ketchup or mustard?
Ooh, this is hard. This is really hard because ketchup is more versatile, but when like a spicy mustard is a fucking 10 out of 10, dude. You get a spicy mustard going on something, you get a honey mustard. Like, mustard has a higher potential, but ketchup is so versatile. You can put it on so many things. You know, my dad would kill me, so I'm going to go ketchup. My dad is a ketchup enthusiast. The guy has no less than 5 giant jugs at all times. One time he ran out of ketchup, and it was you did not want to be near that tornado. It was chaos.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to go with the ketchup story there. There
You can't be. You don't want to be near that tornado.
That ketchup tornado.
Let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. Yes, thank you to everyone who's been sticking with us, and thank you for your patience this week and with the madness that we are enduring. Everything that we do is because of people like you coming back here and watching us every week and supporting us and chipping in just $5 a month or whatever you can. And for that $5 a month, you get every episode of the Easy Allies podcast a couple days early. This one's not quite as early as the others, but still early. And you get it ad-free. You get bonus Love and Respect questions. You get to submit to Love and Respect, and you get to participate in our Discord and meet some other people in the community in there. Vote on some top 10s. Share some food pics, all that good stuff. We have our producer tiers if you really want to get in there and be generous. Thank you so much. And our platinum producers get a shout-out on this podcast each and every week. And this month's shout-outs go to Javawabs and Elthanis. Shout out. All right. If the stars align, Mario Party will return next week. We will see.
Hell or high water.
Send Huber some herbal teas or something. I don't know.
God.
Top 10 title screens happening in the Discord also.
Oh, nice.
Castlevania 64. Do
Symphony
not
of the
fuck
Night,
with
dude.
me.
Come on.
We mentioned it last week, but our game of the year will be announced on January 28th. Obviously, we've got some prep work to do. We were supposed to have a meeting with all kinds of things that has not happened this week either. So, yeah, we're still targeting January 28th for when our GOTY stuff is going to drop. And then there's also a ton of freaking previews this month that they're going to be rolling out. Some of those are probably going to be in the podcast. But I just keep getting emails. I have more emails to send you guys about previews.
Oh, man.
One that I know for sure Huber is going to want. So,
Give it to Don.
Last of Us Part 3?
No, I won't say more than that. But yes, Huber,
Yo.
you won Ore Wars.
Ore Wars.
So you get to shout out anything or anyone that's on your mind this week. You get the final word, and you get to sign off with your trademark sign off.
Shout out to anyone in LA. Like, this is not good. It's really depressing. Like, I need to book a therapy session. You should too, if it's troubling you.
I do think that there are resources out there. I don't know the numbers off the top of my hand, but they do have those available. Yeah, mental health stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, like, this country is so, like, at odds with each other, but I think when things like this happen, it's important to just like understand we're all humans and we all go through hard things no matter what. Like, just remove all the other preconceived notions and prejudices and what have you, and just be a human and support one another. So just shout out to everyone dealing with that horror. What else, Blood?
Final word.
Final word. The final word is tune in to Reaction Shots. Patreon.com/Reaction Shots to hear the follow-up about Hulk and Captain America. We are not done with this conversation by a long shot. We're gonna dive. We're gonna pull records from comics. I'm going all in on this.
Okay. I forgot. This January is most anticipated, so that'll work. And then in February we'll watch it, and we can have part 3.
Yes. Yes. Thanks, everyone. Love and respect.
I mean, the curtain rod's a no-brainer. Kill the cabinet, I guess.
Sorry, cabinet.
Sorry, cabinet.
Yeah. Take it out to the woodshed, literally.